Hey y'all! Welcome to the Harbingers D&D stream. Thank you all for tuning in. I just want to do a caveat on this one. So this one actually is a pre-recorded campaign. So Friday today, I guess. I'm unavailable for the night. So that's why we're just recording this a little bit early on. But we're gonna get back into doing live sessions starting the following week. So we're super excited that you guys get to tune in and watch our adventure tonight in the Harbingers D&D campaign. Alrighty. And does someone want to give a brief recap of what has happened the last session?
Recap.
I can
recap. I can recap it, Sierra. You can't take this
Fine. Fine. Be that way.
Doing your best movie voice, you know?
The best
like it's an
voice?
epic drama.
All right.
News reporter.
All right. You ready? You can do it next time, Sierra. So, last time on the Harbingers campaign, we were all captured. We all ended up in this, goblin whole shenanigans ordeal. We were all captured and in cages. And we've spent a long time trying to kick down doors and get out of there, but unfortunately for us, it didn't end exactly as we wanted. But the good news is we're all alive and on our way to our next adventure. We found these partying adventurers. Apparently this is a legal thing, so we'll have to figure that whole shebang out. But in the meantime, we're all alive. We have a place to stay. We found an inn. And we are on the precipice of officially becoming fully fledged, licensed adventurers. So, we'll see what happens today. Hopefully, things go well and we don't die. But if we do, it's just the game and it's okay. I'll cry a little bit, but be okay later.
That was amazing. Okay, awesome. And with that, we'll dive back into the campaign. Alrighty. So as you guys, I was trying to say all and guys at the same time. Anyways, so as you all have woken up from your restful night's sleep, you wake up in comfortable beds, kind of thick cottony sheets, or not sheets, but covers and stuff like that. Yeah, you wake up in the morning and what do you all do?
How good's the breakfast at this place?
I don't know. Did you guys never been here before? It was quite a comfortable bed. I don't have nearly as many aches and pains as I normally do when I wake up. Nuri, have you been here before?
Have I been here before?
Are you losing your memory?
That's my job.
I was talking to the DM.
DM note, you probably you might have stayed here once or twice, but I mean you have lodging nearby, so there's not really a need for you to be staying in here, so
I mean, I was here a couple years ago, but the food was good then. I don't know if it's changed at all.
Well, I'm gonna go try some breakfast, and I head downstairs.
Breakfast sounds
I'll skip behind her.
delicious. She's gonna join you.
all right, and the three of you start heading downstairs. Douse and Dusty, what are you guys doing?
I'd probably, when I first got up, just kind of do a quick checklist, make sure I still have everything I needed for my travels.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have already been headed down there to. I'd assume I'd already be eating breakfast.
Okay. Alrighty. And Dusty?
Good question. I guess Dusty would be getting up and heading down by this point. Nothing really special. I guess he's up and he's down from his lonely quarters because he has no one to interact with. It's just him. So he's down there.
Dusty, you're in our hearts now.
Hey, Douse was alone too.
That's
Him and his
true.
stuff.
Mhm.
But he's more okay with it. No, no. As you come out of your lonely reverie, you head downstairs. Sorry. Okay, no. Okay. So you actually managed to run into the girls as you are heading downstairs. And you see Douse just a few paces ahead of you. You all manage to head down the stairs and enter into a rather quiet morning. It seems that most of the patrons that are here seem to be a little bit more night owls, you would say, as they seem to be more groggy. Some of them are nursing drinks in the corner booths. Whereas there's a group of people, actually you recognize them as the fearsome threesome that are dining and having a
Oh,
nice
great.
breakfast, sitting down at this one table there. It's a rather long table. They're on just one end of it, and they seem to be chatting with each other, and having fun. And you do see the dwarvish woman again, up at the front. She is still manning the bar, which is now a breakfast bar, pretty much. With no food put out, you would have to make requests, but
Merilla
I'm going-
is.
You go ahead.
Okay. So as we're moving down into this area that you've described, Merilla is going to look up at Dusty because he's with us, right?
She's like, has anyone asked you how tall you are?
A few times.
Only a few.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really get out much, so.
Well, I would like to know, how tall are you?
He kind of puts his hand up here, and then he puts his hand down to where your head is, and he says, about that much taller than you.
That wasn't the answer I was expecting, but it's not a bad one. I suppose, thank you.
Nods. Yeah, of course.
We have now officially established our height difference. I don't know if that's
Douse-
productive or not.
Douse
Okay,
would
so I'm-
approach the counter to. Oh, I forgot you were going to go. You go next.
I was going to head over to the counter.
you guys
So was
can
I,
go
actually.
together.
Sure.
All right, you head over to the counter together.
Okay, remind me the
Blue boy
patron's name.
again.
I'm sorry?
Remind me the name of the patron.
Did we ever find her name?
No. Never asked her name.
Oh. Would I have known it previously or no?
Actually, you would know it, so I'm going to whisper it to you.
Okay.
He comes here often.
Madam Kate, do you have any more of that delicious biscuits and gravy?
Ah, Douse, it's so good to see you again. Hope you did rest up well last night. But I do have quite the batch. Just cooked it up this morning. Is that what you're wanting again? The usual?
Yes. And when are you going to tell me that secret ingredient?
Don't you know we got to keep that close to our chest there?
Yes, but it's a long journey. Come on, you gotta tell me.
One day, Douse. You see her kind of start to head into the back as you hear some clattering, some kind of scooping and stuff like that, cooking noises basically. And she comes out with a nice plate full of some biscuits and gravy. She comes over and she sets it in front of you and she goes, "I got out the fresh biscuits just for you."
You are a doll. Thank you so very much.
Of course, Douse. And your friend here. What can I get for
Oh,
you?
yes.
Could I try some of those? Those look really good.
Biscuits and gravy, it's a family secret. All right, I can get you some of those as well. And she heads
Thank
on
you.
back. You will. She heads on back, grabs another plate, and she comes back out and sets it in front of you. She says, "On the house, dearie."
Oh, thank you so much.
Can I get on the
And
house too?
Okay, are you all in Douse? Are you traveling with more people?
Lived his life yesterday.
I just met most of them recently.
But your friends
They
of
came
Douse,
back. Acquaintances.
acquaintances.
We
This is the
we
thanks I get.
did only meet yesterday, but he's cool.
He is.
But here's the money for my usual. Thank you so very much.
Oh, Douse, please, no, on the house.
I pay my taxes.
You're a good one. And she scoops up the money and puts it back into like an apron pouch. And it's just 2 silver, by the way. And so she kind of leans over towards you, Merilla, and she says, "What can I get for you?"
What do you have available?
We got biscuits and gravy. We got eggs and sausage. About it.
Which has the slightly biggest portion?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean. It's like a
I mean,
bigger
is there
plate.
more biscuits and gravy when you serve it, or is there more eggs and sausage? What does it
I'd probably
depend?
say if you like a heaping of gravy, we do have quite a bit. I can slap on some extra gravy.
Sounds terrific. Thank you.
There we go. Alrighty. And so she heads into the back, gathers up another plate, and passes it back to you. She says,
Oh, this smells wonderful. You said
Yes.
there was a secret ingredient.
"There is, my mom's."
Your mum's. And she has a horrible flashback to hoping that the woman she killed yesterday was not a mom. Oh, I see. Thank you. And she begins to eat.
Hope you'll enjoy it.
No response.
Okay. Alrighty. Dusty, Nuri, are you guys going to be doing anything?
I'll go get food.
Okay. Are you gonna just go and grab more biscuits and gravy just like everyone else, or grab eggs and stuff?
Just the biscuits.
Okay. So she goes back and she hands you a plate of biscuits and gravy.
I like nod. I'm like, thank you, and then I just quickly walk away.
she just nods.
Seeing her, Dusty's going to go up. And he's going to grab some as well. He's going to ask, "Would it be okay if I got that bundled up for later?"
Just some biscuits bundled up, because the gravy doesn't stay, hun.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
All right. She kind
I
of
know I
wraps
tried.
up. She wraps up some biscuits and like kind of ties them off, and she just hands them to you, nice and fresh. Hopefully they're fresh when you eat them.
Thank you very much. And he'll go and find a place to sit down.
I'm gonna wave Dusty over.
I walk over to her.
Haha. I am
You get to
trying
hide me,
to
Dusty?
stay. I'm trying to stay out of sight of the fearsome threesome.
Oh, they're like munching down on their breakfast. And
I'm
just
sitting
like
at their table.
you're all just avoiding eye contact. Well, I guess roll stealth.
For everyone or just Megan? Because she's
Everyone.
Everyone. Everyone's
That's
trying
not
to
my
be
choice.
stealthy.
It's
If
just-
you're trying
I'm gonna
to
join
hide
in.
from them, roll stealth.
I was not.
Okay. All right. Douse is not hiding. Megan, they don't even notice you. So Megan rolled a nat 20 for stealth
No.
to hide from the fearsome threesome. They do not see her. Merilla and Nuri, you guys also don't want to be seen with.
If Nuri's hiding, then I'll probably hide too. She's making motions towards me. She's like, you can see it in my head.
Okay. So you
Since
guys
Douse
are
is
just
not
like,
trying to hide, Marilla's just kind of like walking strategically, behind him.
I got an
Trying to
11
avoid.
so
Alrighty. So pretty much they don't notice you at all. I will say, so Doused, you're sitting up by the counter, and you actually, next to you, Meg comes up. She goes, "Hey,
Hello there, Meg.
how's it going?"
It's going all right. What can I do for you today?
Well, it's more of what I can do for you. Nothing insinuating, nothing bad. Don't worry. I was
Okay.
gonna say, tonight they're having a celebration at the. Sorry, it's last night there was a lot of drinking involved, so it's a little, little rusty up there, up in the gears.
Man,
But they're having a celebration at the Avon's Edge Guildhall tonight. The Valkyries, a group, an adventuring group, just finished arresting Big Nose Jack, the big bandit guild, the bandit group that has been terrorizing the countryside. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to stay in character so bad.
Okay, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Big Nose Jack. That's a single person as an entire group, or
Well,
why?
it's Big Nose Jack and his gang, basically.
Oh,
Pretty much. So they just kind of go by Big Nose Jack's group. I don't know. It works
fair
out
for
for
them.
But pretty much the Valkyries just ended up arresting and taking down his whole entire setup, basically. What happened to her voice? She's now Western.
Howdy, y'all. They took them down. Now we gotta go get them.
Basically. So they're having a whole celebration tonight. The whole community's invited. They're all coming down to Avon's Edge Guildhall, and you guys should totally come. I mean, with you guys being great at killing goblins and such, I'm sure there's bound to be like some good entertainment there. Also, you could probably talk to the guild warden there. She'll be able to help you guys get into the adventuring gig if that's what you want to do.
I mean, I'll let the other guys know. I don't even know if we're a group at the moment. I kind of just met these guys, but we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. Well, it'll still be a party, so better show up.
All right.
Free food. That's the best.
Food.
Does Marilla hear this?
Yeah, you can probably all hear this. She's not trying to be quiet with her food. Like the kind of like whisper yell is just her trying to be funny, basically, but it's still pretty loud. She's like, and a free endless bar.
Do you know who's catering?
Uh,
Providing the
Avon's Edge.
Okay.
Like they're the ones providing the food for the party. It's
Well,
all
yeah,
in
but
celebration of the Valkyries.
I was asking who's cooking, but all right.
Oh, I don't know.
Fair enough, fair
All
enough.
I heard was free food and free drinks, and I'll be there. Our whole group will be.
All right, I'll let them know.
She's like, all right, I'll see you there. And she like touches her forehead, and then touches your forehead. She's like, yeah, yeah.
All right.
And she walks away, grabs her drink, walks away back to her group.
He is very confused by the forehead touch. She's like,
She's nursing
Kate,
her
is there
drink.
anything on my face?
Dearie, I don't see anything, so I think you're all right,
Okay.
hon.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah, that
My
one, she was here drinking all night, basically. I think she's just a little not all there this morning.
fair enough.
But the
My
celebration
Douse is
does.
all over the place at the moment.
Oh gosh. The celebration, though, I actually did hear about that. Hun, it should be, everyone should be there. At least a lot of members of the community. So it'll be fun time. Maybe you should get out and meet some people. Never know, you might meet a girl you fancy.
It's not the sole reason I came out here, but all right. I'll give it a look.
All right, hun. Well, you go on back to your friends, or sorry, acquaintances.
Will do.
What do you think they're talking about? Do you think we should go?
Assuming that that we all heard it at wherever table we're at.
There's free
Well, I'm not
food.
entirely sure. Like, free food, yeah, that does sound nice. My concern is, have they turned in the goblin ears yet? And if they might have a little beef with us because of that.
Why would they
I
have a
just
beef
raised
with
a
us?
hand.
She like leans in.
I'm assuming this
don't
is going on while I
understand.
make my way there, so that's why I'm not saying anything yet. But
Should we consider them more enemies than we already do?
Well,
Of a
you
friendly
may or may
sort.
not have left a note talking about their dishonesty in their bag. So
I see.
I'm gonna make sure that
Which
the
bag?
fearsome threesome didn't hear that.
Oh
The
yeah,
one with
no,
the
they are
ears.
not paying attention to you guys. They don't even know you're there, except Magna Douses. But she's nursing some alcohol, basically.
Are you sure it was the right bag with the goblin ears and not some other?
pretty sure it was the right one. It was some little short guy. I mean, the gnome.
I see.
Yeah, they gave him the back of the ears, right?
Yeah. There was ears in it.
Well,
It was her idea.
Okay.
I'm hoping
everybody,
this works.
there's a celebration going on tonight. I'm still debating
Oh,
on
you
going
don't say!
or not, but
Truly,
Yes.
is it free food?
yes, how'd you know?
I was asking just in case. You never know. I mean,
Uh,
free food is always a good idea.
I was told that they have free food. I'm debating on going whether or not. They said that you're all invited.
Is it because they invited us or because it's an open invitation to everybody?
I think it's an open invitation to the entire city.
Oh, good, because if they invited us, I was going to say no. Free food's not that important.
I mean, they were the one who extended the invitation, but I think it's in general just for everyone.
It's a good point. And she's going to rifle through her pant pocket and she's going to be like, they did also give us this. And she's going to pull out the guild flyer. She's going to put it on the table and slide it over for everybody else to see now.
Okay.
I feel like they really want us to be, all of us, a thing together. Do you think, like Nuri mentioned yesterday, they might get some financial compensation?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to getting some extra money. I may need it in my
I know, not
travels,
us, them.
but- Oh, them.
Them, yes. We're against them having more money. Then they don't earn.
I don't see why that would matter to us if they get more money or not from us
I guess
joining
it's just
up.
me.
Well, if they're getting more money off of dishonesty, I think maybe if we do go, we can talk to someone about that.
Hold on. Where's the dishonesty from us joining a group? They're not the ones.
No.
Head of the group.
No, I'm talking.
This guild thing is just prejudice. The ears were the dishonesty.
Yeah, the ears were the dishonesty. They're taking the money for our work.
I mean, they were hired to do a job.
They were, but here's this: if you were hired for a job, would you take someone else's pay? Because you were hired for the job.
Anyways, we don't have the credentials to get paid for this.
Okay, but would you take someone else's money because you did the job?
There was no one else who had that money.
Douse, I don't think you understand. They are getting paid per goblin that they killed. Yes, they killed about 5 goblins, but they took the ears off of the goblins that we killed, giving them, 10 ears. So
yes.
5 of them they should be paid for because they killed them. That's correct. But the other 5, or however many, they shouldn't be because.
I'm being an advocate for them because I don't see as big of a problem with it. I understand they did not do the work, but we weren't going to get paid for those goblins anyways.
I don't know.
Okay, but what if we were?
It's not about us getting the money.
Oh dang.
It's about them not getting the money.
So
perhaps
you're saying
Douse is staying out of this.
You mean Dusty?
Oh yeah, sorry. Dusty's staying out of this with a 3.
Douse is well in this.
Dusty knows that you can't argue with women.
Dusty just puts his biscuits in his bag.
Whether it is honest or not for them, it doesn't matter. They're a separate individual from us. You weren't going to get paid for it.
What if you think about it this way? They're basically stealing money from the guild because they are getting paid for something they didn't do.
Then that is on them. How is us signing up as a group going to get them even more money?
Oh, no. That has
It's not going to get them more money.
Wasn't that what this all was about? You guys asked if we should join a group, and then someone brought up that they might get paid more.
We are definitely getting way off topic here.
We are very off topic.
It was kind of part of the group conversation, but then we moved on some random spiral.
I mean, if we want to be
Are we going to go?
I don't see why not.
I like that idea of group. Don't have to go alone.
I guess it would.
I'm not going to actually do this, but I had the random urge to just be like, "You were not part of this. Get out." I'm not going to do it, but I was just
You can hire Loda. You can hire Loda if you want. I mean,
good.
No, because she's going to be part of the group if she is doing a group, so that's why she would be part of this. But it just would have been hilarious.
Oh, you're gonna put a nice place. I see how it is.
No, that did not happen. It was just something hilarious I thought of.
Amaris thinks about it for a bit. Looks like there's something bouncing around in her mind, and then she finally replies, I guess it wouldn't hurt to try a group.
And I think that's 2 yeses, I guess, because I said I wouldn't mind some extra cash. Anybody else? Any opposed?
I'm just kidding.
Not sure if I want to go out of my unofficial retirement.
But it could be so much fun. We could have so many sleepovers.
Sleepovers?
Is it too late to change my answer?
Nope. You're stuck with it now.
I don't know. I will have to think about this, but I am all down for free food. We'll just avoid the threesome.
How about we take the day, we can all do our own individualities, meet up at the party tonight, and there we can decide.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Let's
it
see why
doesn't
not.
sound too bad.
Think of some group names. So we have to sign with the name if we decide to do this. Just saying.
The fearsome foursome.
No.
No.
No. We got
There's
to do
not
something
even
before
4 of
that's
us.
the
We
name.
don't want to also be dishonest name.
Plus, we need our name to be something cooler than theirs. So
This is true.
What's cooler than one
If
more
I
member?
join, if I join.
Okay, so are you guys like? What are you guys gonna do for the rest of the day?
Is there a library or
Yes, there
scroll
is.
shop here?
Well, there is a library, and
So I'll just
there's
go
like
to
a
the
little
library
magic
for the
shop.
day.
Go to the library. Okay, so you
I
can
mean,
head
I'm
to the
down with the
library.
I'm done with the library.
So, Dusty, you want to go with?
Is there a cooking guild at all?
Unfortunately, no, but you could probably find like different like herbal shops or taverns, I guess, that you could like
He's more looking for recipes.
more looking for recipes. I guess you could probably find those actually at the library.
Okay. Then I would go to the library in search of cooking books.
Okay. Alrighty. So you're going to the library as well. Amaris, Merilla?
I'm just going to explore the town.
Okay, like what, anything in particular or just kind of moseying about?
Just moseying about.
Okay, awesome. Marilla?
Marilla's probably going to stay around the tavern for most of the day and see what small coinage she can get for playing her lute at the tavern or just around.
Okay, awesome. So make a performance check for me, as you kind of are
Please.
going around. All right, so Nuri, Douse, and Dusty, you guys all start heading towards the library. And when you arrive there, you meet this older gentleman. I mean, the first thought that came to my mind was saying aged. But a quite older gentleman who's slightly hunched, wearing some small little bespectacled glasses, um, balding on the top of his head, but like kind of coming down to like white, wispy hairs left, with a little bit of like a white kind of mid-length beard. As you come into the library, he welcomes you and, oh, it's so good to see the youth here. Are you interested in some book reading?
I
Yes,
don't know if I could
very
say
much
this.
so.
You test.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What kind of books are you thinking of reading?
Do you have anything on spells,
Tomes,
necromancy,
magic.
or something along those lines?
Think we have a couple things down that way. Just down. Missy! You see this little redhead girl, probably about like 14. So not like super young, but still fairly young. A little human girl. She kind of like peeks around out of like a section of books, and she comes running over. And she's like, yes, Grandpa? He's like, yes, he showed us down where, magic and scrolls and stuff are. And he, like, pats her ever so slowly once on the head. And she just kind of smiles and she's like, she reaches out her hand to you and she's like, hey, miss, I'll show you.
I'll take her hand and happily follow along.
Alrighty.
Follow them.
Okay, Dusty, you go with them. And the gentleman turns to you and he goes, Douse. Or she doesn't know your name. That was me. That was me saying Douse. I don't know your name. Okay, sorry. And what are you looking for?
Just any cuisine books you might have.
Oh, a chef. Oh, we've got some good cookbooks. Let me show you down this way. And he starts like hobbling, like ever so slowly,
This
bringing you.
is going to take my whole afternoon or whole morning.
So he leads you over to the cookbook section ever so slowly. And you, Nuri, and Dusty are able to go to the magic and scroll section, so you can start rifling through those. Merilla, what was your performance check?
It was 12.
A 12. Okay. It's not like the greatest you've ever done, but it passes by and you get a couple like coins kind of tossed your way. So I'd say gain like 3 copper.
Cool beans.
So a couple people kind of are like, oh, like aspiring bard, and they kind of like toss one.
The sweet old lady.
Lady just trying her best.
Thank you.
Actually, Amaris, while you're out traveling the town, you are drawn in by some music, and you see Merilla performing. And you notice like this little like mom and her daughter kind of like walking past, and they pass Merilla, and the little girl kind of like tugs on her mom's skirt, and like the mom kind of leans down as the girl like whispers in her ear, and then her mom is like kind of smile and is like, okay, and she like reaches into like a pouch, hands the little girl a copper, and the little girl goes like running up to Merilla. She's like, here, old lady.
Oh, thank you, dearie. That is so kind of you. And she's going to nod at the mom, like, you truly are a good mother. And she's not going to think about the lady that she...
That had to be the purest thing that I have seen in a while.
Yeah. And then the little girl just runs back to her mom, and they go about milling around. As you kind of are traveling about, you enter into like a little market area. It looks to be kind of like a town square. I guess I've got we'll just move to a town square tile here.
How busy is it?
It seems to be like fairly busy with people kind of milling about. You see, hold on, gotta pull up my token my people area. You just notice like a couple like people kind of walking about. Oh my gosh, if I can find where my people are, there's just like random people milling about. A couple that are like running shops. And imagine these like wagons on the map are like little shops and in little various areas. This is me just kind of token dropping, but like so it doesn't seem to be like super busy. But there's also not like a lack of people, right? Moderately people running, kind of going around. Merilla offering some tunes as people go about. You notice kind of actually off, kind of near these like steps up here. You notice someone. Let me pull up. Where are they? Hello. Ah, there you are. You notice this man, kind of a taller, older human. Sorry, I always forget to pull up my notes. But pretty much this taller, older gentleman, kind of just standing there. He looks over at Merilla. He's got like looks to be like 4 other people around him, kind of dressed in various like armors, whereas he's wearing like a leather tunic. He's got a lute on his back and a flute in his pouch. He kind of looks at Merilla and he's kind of shaking his head and kind of laughing and a little bit like other than that, you just see other people like milling about.
Okay. I am going to try and not get his attention. So I'm just gonna like walk around town and like if it gets too busy in like one area, Amaris like steps around people. Like almost like she's dancing around them. Like to move around.
Okay.
And as she's just wandering through town, she's just gonna hum to herself.
Alrighty. Perfect. All right. So as the day kind of wears on, Merilla, I'd say you get 2 more pieces of copper. Amaris, you managed to explore the town for a good chunk of it. So I would say you probably know a lot of like where things are at this point. So if you needed to, I don't know, get around town quickly, you'd be able to get around pretty quick. As for Nuri and Dusty, you guys managed to find some awesome magic books. Nothing in particular on the research that you're looking for, Nuri. Because this library does seem limited in its knowledge. As for you, Dane, you do find some fun recipes. You find a good recipe for some travel jerky, basically.
Ooh.
Ones that you can make some really nice like dried jerky on the road. There's also a really fancy and complicated recipe for an apple pie that you can find.
Ooh. Is there any pencil and paper around?
You could probably go up to like the main counter in the library and ask for a quill and some parchment.
All right. I would do that and start trying to like take it down on the side, just so I'm not going to deface the book. I'll leave it there.
Perfect. So you can transcribe those 2 recipes.
All right. So travel jerky and apple pie.
Yep. Alrighty. And the evening comes to the point where it is time to go to the party.
Party time!
Does Merilla see that, like, shops and whatnot, or, like, I guess, decorations are being set up in the area that she's at?
So they're not, like, kind of...
Have I moved on?
I guess actually, yeah, it'd probably be about in this area. So, like, these steps would be the entrance to Avon's Edge. Yeah, so you've seen that some decorations have been getting set up. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for your guys' characters. They're over here. Plop. Plop.
It's just a pile of sand. That's what it looked like for a second. It's dusty.
I don't know what happened.
That's very dusty.
I do kind of look like a pile of sand now.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's perfect.
Alrighty. So you guys can gather up together on the steps before you enter into Avon's Edge.
Oh, all the rest of you finally got here.
Have you been here all day?
No, it was purely by chance I arrived here before you.
Oh, okay.
She was here all day.
No, I played a little bit at the tavern we were at, the
Immediately
inn.
sold out.
But I did see your fancy footwork around that other... He was a human, right?
Yes.
Around that other human. Very well done, Amaris. You know, back in my day, I could exchange a cool good flipperton feat like you did.
What fancy footwork!
Yeah.
We're just walking through town.
It was the way you scooted around that human man with the instrument on his back surrounded by guards, I thought.
You mean the one at the steps that in the complete
Yes, that
opposite
one.
direction of where I went?
Mm-hmm. I don't think he liked my playing, but it's all right. It wasn't for him then.
Well, I mean, I saw that there were plenty of others who loved what you did.
She seems truly touched. Oh, thank you. Who was that? A human?
I don't know. I don't recognize him from anywhere.
Seemed awfully important. Maybe not awfully, but important enough.
DM, did I recognize the guy, or was it just some rando?
You don't know him. He just kind of seemed like someone random.
Okay, then.
Okay. So do you guys head in?
Let's head in, shall we?
Yeah.
As we head in, Merilla's going to be like, well, what about the rest of your days?
Reading.
That's it.
Just
Yeah.
seeing the town.
Oh, I suppose that's important too.
Alrighty. Well, as you head on into Avon's Edge, you come in on a very jovial sight. People are dancing, drinks are being shared. There's more people than what are displayed here. It's, tossing tokens out. But pretty much you see the fearsome threesome. Actually, over here, I managed to make tokens for them. I feel proud. Thank you. You see Gippy is actually up on stage with his flute, and he seems to be like having a lot of fun playing. He actually is kind of leaning over on the edge here of the stage, leaning over towards a halfling woman who seems to just be laughing and smiling at his playing. Next to her is another halfling. They look like they're probably related. In some way. So he seems to just kind of be like quiet, like arms crossed, not like giving off, not like glaring at people, but more just kind of like an introverted, like just standing there, I don't know what to do with myself kind of vibe. You see actually over here a lizard folk woman seems to be gnawing on a pheasant, like just like a raw pheasant, and just like gnawing on it and like eating it. You see a dwarf over here behind the bar. He seems to be the one serving food, cooking up drinks. There's lots of other people around here. Some of them look to be like just regular commoners. Others seem to be like newer, look to be in like brand new fresh adventuring gear. You see a little, not a little, you see a young tabaxi with kind of like silvery fur. um she's kind of walking around smiling at some of the patrons and being like, and just going, yeah, and then I decided that I wanted to head out and go adventure. And then you see one of the patrons, kind of like an older woman who's sitting and drinking down a drink. She's like, "Oh, kitten, you haven't been on an adventure in your life." and she's like, "Don't call me kitten," and just kind of storms off a little bit. You guys can enter into the room, so you can move your tokens around. You see lots of different patrons. You actually see another tabaxi woman over here, wearing kind of like a cloth over her head with like holes that her ears can poke out of. She's got kind of black and white spots, a little bit older, kind of a silver sheen to her fur. She's talking to a older tabaxi man, and they seem to be like arguing about something, like in hushed voices. And he seems to be getting really upset at her, towards her, before he actually ends up kind of like she snaps at him, kind of bares her teeth, and he bares his teeth back. And he actually ends up walking, kind of storming through this door that like opens for a sec and then it closes as he kind of storms off. And she just kind of paws through her fur and she puts on a smile and goes over and talks to this other girl. She's got red hair, kind of wearing like armor and stuff. So yeah, so those are like there's a whole bunch of different people in here, lots of lively music, and yeah. What are you gonna do?
Marilla's going to shuffle in at the back of the group. She's like, oh, certainly is a lot of people here.
Well, yeah,
She's going to try to look brave. And be like, well, where's the food?
At the bar. And I'm going to head over to the bar.
Okay, you can head over to the bar.
I'm gonna go dance just like by myself. Just like
Dancing better when I'm dancing.
Yay!
Okay, perfect. So you can head over and dance. Oh, sorry, I moved. Sorry, Douse.
Oh, you're good. Is that our gnome friend up on the stage?
Yes, Gippy.
Yeah, avoiding that.
He actually, he notices you guys come in and he waves as he's like playing on a flute, and then he waves real quick and goes straight back into the tune and continues dancing, and yeah.
I'd nod and then feign eye contact. Like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah, Dusty will wave and then he'll go sit down.
Okay. And you guys, there's lots of free food, lots of meat, lots of vegetables, more like potatoes and carrots, basically, but
Marilla goes ham.
okay, go ham on the free food.
Potatoes cook so well. I wonder what kind it is. Just keep going.
I'm gonna go over with Merilla, get some food, and
she actually followed you when you went.
Oh, okay.
So you guys both have food and you've sat down at this table together, eating some food.
Oh, there's a person there.
Well, it's Dusty.
Oh no, up here at the other table.
Well, yeah, that one has the lizard folk woman who's like excitedly eating this raw pheasant. She looks up at you. You see kind of like some blood on her face, a little like on her like claws and stuff, and she just like kind of grins this toothy grin.
That must be a wonderful pheasant for you to be eating it that well.
Mm. She kind of licks like this long lizardy tongue comes and like licks like her lips, I guess. But they're not so much lips as they are just, and she reaches in and she pulls out the little like heart and she goes, the hearts are the best hearts.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Is it the flavor? Is it the texture?
She just kind of like is just like, Yes. Very soft. Very delicious.
I will make note of that. And he just continue on writing down the hearts of the best in his little notebook of recipes
She
that he's
goes,
starting to make.
okay. She's like, I know it may seem weird to other people, but I come from smoking in Snake Wharf. We like raw meats.
Only when it's raw?
Amaris, could you scoot a little bit more this way, please? Just I wanted just all I need. Thank you so much. She continues eating.
He'd go grab some food and probably join the table.
Alrighty.
Amaris for a bit is watching Nuri just like dance around the room.
Okay.
She's just been dancing in squares over here, and I love it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Actually,
She's
Nuri,
slowly moving. If you haven't noticed, she's slowly moving.
I did. Wait, you're what?
I love this.
Can I make a perception check on that?
Wait, she's slowly moving towards what?
The door
Door.
that the man stormed out of.
Well, I was gonna say Trixie's coming up to her.
Wait,
I'm still
Trixie?
dancing.
Oh, sorry. You don't know her name. The cat girl. But
I'm
if you want to make a perception check, you can against, I guess, Sierra's stealth.
Would that be perception or insight? Because Sierra's not being sneaky. Or she's not hiding as much as she's trying to
Like
sneak
dance
over there.
I
Keep
mean,
her
we did just
intentions
say
hidden.
Sneak.
Yeah, she's trying to hide her intentions as opposed to herself.
So I would just still say probably.
Can start rolling in person.
Sorry, this is me wondering, just curious. You do you.
We'll say just roll stealth, because it's not like you're trying to like hide, unless you're like, but you're trying to hide your intentions. Like I get what you're saying.
I'm kind of just dancing around, slowly making my way over, so like in a way people wouldn't notice what I was doing. They just be like, "Oh, she's dancing," kind of like fade into the back of their minds.
Okay, and I'll say like Amaris, you see like where she is. I mean, and that she is like, I guess you could like notice that she's getting closer to the door, but you wouldn't know any of her intentions or anything. But the younger cat girl who was like mad about the kitty comment earlier, she comes over and she's like kind of like dances and sidles up to you. She's like, "How do you have so much energy?"
Wait, she asked how I have so much energy? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Just keep dancing like, oh, you got a party, you just got a party. And I'm like, go away, go away, go away.
She just kind of laughs.
So,
and she's like,
Death glares as you're dancing.
she keeps dancing.
So Amaris is, Amaris notices that and is just like, you know what? It looks like she's having quite a bit of fun. And she gets up, like takes a few steps before actually starting to dance, and dances her way on over.
Okay, so you guys are dancing your way on over. And okay, so
Did she leave any food on her plate?
I don't know.
Hold on a sec.
Is this a high or low?
Yeah, high or low.
High or low, high or low.
Hi.
Hi and go.
It's probably just a few scraps.
Okay, as soon as you have like made it into the crowd, Marilla's gonna stand up with her small height, reach as far as she can over the length of the table and be like, since I'm too lazy, she's gonna take those few scraps and put them on her plate.
That is very disgusting. At least eat your own.
Want? Picky not want? I forget the phrase.
Have you never
Want
had
not, waste not. She goes at it.
Yes, Nuri?
Hi. Yay, thank you. Okay. As I've
Amaris
been
is
dancing, I
following
just
you.
like back my way up to the door and like shimmy next to it.
You
If
still have the
the
two next
cat,
to you.
if she like turns around for a moment, I'm gonna just try and like slip into the door and leave her behind.
Well, she's trying to have a conversation with you. She's she's like asking you, so where'd you come from?
Oh, you know, the woods. Why are you following?
I'm just trying to meet new people. I never really get out much. It's so nice to meet new people. Me, wow.
Cute.
What?
You're just like a little kitten. How cute.
Don't call me a kitten. Ugh!
You said the word.
You're like my mom, and she just kind of like she doesn't actually strike you, but she kind of like paws, slashes at the air, just like, and just kind of huffs and
Still acting like a kitten too. How sweet.
she just kind of as she kind of like storms past the other I was about to say Khajiit Tabaxi. She storms past the other Tabaxi and she kind of reaches out. She's like, "Oh, kitten," and she's like, "Meow." And she like starts going and she just kind of like storms off.
I'm gonna try to slip in the door now. Now that she's gone.
Yeah, you
You
can
still have one
easily
person with you.
the door
Well,
just
it's my cousin. I don't care about that.
Fair enough.
I'm following you. I'm following you in all this.
okay. Are you trying to like not be seen?
Yeah.
Okay, roll for stealth.
I'm gonna roll this one in person because I don't like my rolls online. They've been terrible.
Where are those? Where's the rest of our group?
Right.
Shouldn't we be talking if
Oh,
we're going
man.
to form a group or not?
7.
7. Okay, awesome. Well, the Khajiit or the Tabaxi woman kind of looks up and she comes over to the open door and she's like, what are you doing?
I'm looking for the bathroom.
Oh, here, come this way. And she kind of grabs your hand and she's like, oh, we can't let people get lost over here. I understand it can be a little bit tricky. So so the door ends up closing. She leads you over this way.
I'm gonna wink at Amaris. I'm like, very obviously.
But can I roll for stealth to go in the door? Because I know that's where she's gonna go, and I feel like she's sending me some kind of signal.
Okay, yes, you can roll to go inside the door. And so she brings you into the privy. She goes, this is all privy here. I actually decorated this room to look like a privy.
Oh wow, it's so nice. Let me ask you this: how many buckets, toilets? I don't know what it is. Do you have here?
I mean, I never really counted.
Oh, that's a shame. You really should. Some places I know have like 300.
Cool. And she just kind of leaves. So you rolled a 14.
Yes.
Okay. So no one stops you.
All right. I'm just gonna. Can I slip through?
Yes. Oh, perfect. You can open them, right? If you just click on it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You can head on through.
And close.
Yeah, I was trying the new door feature here.
That's cool.
Very fancy.
So Merilla definitely notices because she was watching you since you left, but she's not going to follow you.
Yeah. Actually,
Hold
you
on.
see that you see a Naira come up and start talking to the Khajiit woman while you guys are out here. The Tabaxi woman, as you guys are out here. Megan, you enter into a hallway with another door.
Hmm. Going to come to the other door and just like peek inside.
Okay. So just
I
open the
wonder where
door.
she's going off to.
So it
I'm
looks
just peeking inside.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like an empty room, but like actually, what you see as you kind of enter into this or peek through is it just kind of looks like a gathering area. Like there's some tables, there's some like like barrels lining the wall that kind of have like storage and stuff, like different ales and meads and stuff. You do see a door over here, and you see another hallway that leads to what looks like a locked door. Or sorry, you don't know it's locked. You see another door. And you actually see the tabaxi guy come out of this door and he closes it and he starts heading back towards you.
Bow fetch. Bow fetch. I'm going to I'm going to cast disguise self to. Is there anything in this room that I can hide behind?
I mean, you're in the hallway. You were peeking in. So there's nothing in the hallway.
Okay.
He just
So
sort of
I'm actually. Oh wait, hold on. Which way does the door swing? Which way does the door swing?
the door swings like out. So like technically where the room that he's in, the door would go in that way.
Okay, so I'm going to cast disguise self to basically just turn myself a darker color and then like press up against the wall to try and like hide in shadows in a way.
You're doing disguise self. Okay. Is that like a wisdom save or like
Let me look up this.
because like you can't
spell.
like really meld into the wall because it's not like a
No, I
camera.
can't. I'm trying to do the best I can here, okay?
You're good. Just roll for stealth. I'll give you advantage, so that 14 you can roll again. Because of your disguised self, we'll do it that way. So just roll for
Okay.
stealth one more time and go with the higher roll.
Until the spell ends or until you use your action to dismiss it. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller and can appear thin, fat, or in between. You can't change your body type, so you must adopt a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you.
Yeah, so I don't think you can like. Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
so
you could like change your skin color to look like the rock wall. Like you
no,
change
I know
it
I
to-
can't do that.
That'd be like
I-
shitting stone or something.
So let's see. Rolling for stealth, and you said with advantage?
well, I mean, since you're not looking like a rock wall anymore, just straight up.
No, I'm just trying to like look like a darker color, so like as a tiefling or something, like something with a darker tone to hide in shadows, basically.
Okay, so you can transform into a tiefling. Okay, yeah, and then roll with advantage for stealth. So a 14. Oh, an 18. Okay.
Oh. Stealth was that 14 was to get through the door.
Oh, okay. So 6 or an 18, so an 18. Alrighty, and I already rolled for him, so I'll go with those. So he comes walking through, shuts the door, and he goes in through, he opens up this other door, and right before he goes in, he kind of stops, and he turns to you and he says, I suggest you come and join the party.
Oh, is this not the way to the bathrooms?
They are cousins.
Well,
No. The bathrooms, if you head out this door, they are directly on your left.
Okay, thank you.
And he does not see through the illusion. But, so do you head out with him? As the tiefling?
Sure, I'm gonna head out as the tiefling. And like find, like just look around to find like somewhere where I can just do like a quick change back without anyone noticing.
You could probably go to the prince.
I probably could. I'm gonna head over to the bathrooms.
Okay, they are on the left where Nuri is. So you
Rilla's
can head into the
confused.
bathroom. And he just kind of
I'm
comes
gonna-
out.
So I'm gonna like I see Nuri go somewhere where it's like a stall-ish, change back, and then come back out.
Okay. Alrighty. So you actually see a Naira come up with the cat lady. So while you guys are doing that, we're gonna come back to the rest of the party while you guys are sitting there eating your food.
I'd just be like, where are those two? We were going to talk about whether or not we're joining a group together or not, but they just ran off.
Does kind of defeat the point of being a group.
I saw them moving around. I'm not sure where they went. No.
They come
Yes,
up.
this is true.
Oh, are you looking for your other friend that was wandering about? I think she got a little lost on her way to the bathroom. The bathroom's over there. She must
Yes.
be finishing up.
She
Gotcha.
often does that.
Mm-hmm.
She does. I just met these people. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And then Naira speaks up and she says, Kaya, I was talking about, so these are the fellas I was talking to you about. They're the ones that ended up killing a bunch of the goblins, and it was really helpful in us. They were very good at what, starting off. I think they could have potential to be a part of the guild.
So that's
And-
a Naira and who?
A Naira and the Tabaxi woman.
Okay. That's right. Okay.
And the Tabaxi woman smiles and she holds out her paw to shake with you guys.
Shake her hand. I'll shake her hand. I shake her hand.
Okay, it's very soft, but she has a firm grip,
Oh,
So she shakes hands with you and she shakes hands with anyone else who will shake her hand.
It's the polite thing to do.
Yeah. All right. So she shakes hands with you. It's very soft paw.
And she goes back with like a little bit of a damp hand, just as water genasi.
That's okay. She kind of laughs at it and wipes it off on her cloak.
No, wait.
Sorry.
Can she please shake it off like an actual cat? You know how they do like that rapid paw shake?
She kind of like shakes it off and like the fur on her head, I guess paw just kind of like puffed up a little bit.
Yes.
Sorry, it's just who I am.
No worries. We accept everyone here, of all races, of all sizes, shapes, colors.
Right.
And
That is certainly a good thing, and she takes
perfect.
I guess
She takes
to
it.
eating.
She's like, hope you're enjoying the food.
Oh yes, extremely. It's wonderful.
That's good. We do
What
like
kind of
to
potatoes are these? Do you happen to know?
russet potatoes.
Russets. A good white. Lots of starch inside. Mhm.
Exactly.
Excellent for baking.
Very good. Douse hurriedly writes this down. She smells and she's like, we do love to do events for the community as often as we can, to be able to feed as many people as we can. But again, tonight we are celebrating the Valkyries, wherever they have gone off to, don't really know. They might have left a little early, but I mean, after all, they are kind of celebrities a little bit in this town. They stopped the dreadful Big Nose Jack in his tracks. He's currently being held in one of the dungeon cells in the Citadel here. The exact location, no one really knows. There's a lot of people who harbor a lot of hatred. So we don't want any funny business happening before his trial.
I'm from out of town. Who are the Valkyries?
The Valkyries? Well, they are one of the adventuring groups that we employ here at Avon's Edge. Very wonderful group, all girls, very able-bodied, fine young women.
Girl power. I like it.
Girl power. Anira kind of is over. And so at this point, Amaris and Nuri, you can come back and join the group from being done in the privy. If you wish. And then I was like, but have you all thought about joining and being a group of yourselves? Because you were pretty good out there. I mean, we didn't personally see it, but I mean, you killed quite a few goblins.
I just
Yes.
asked for the signing bonus.
There's no signing bonus.
Not that you know of.
And Naira kind of laughs and she says, we don't get any money from you guys signing on. I'm just honestly a fan and rooting for the underdogs.
Oh, thank you then.
Do we look?
We underdogs.
No.
I'm sorry, I was unaware that we were dogs.
No, that's not what I meant. And Naira just kind of like slaps her hands over her snout and she's like, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so sorry. Please don't take it as an insult.
I'll look past it this time. Anyway, we were going to decide that now, but we were waiting on these two to come back.
Oh, well.
Probably a conversation that we want to have, without people looking over our shoulders, like we're dogs that need to be watched.
And Naira just looks so, like, guilty and she kind of, like, hides her snout a bit.
It's all right, dearie. You did heal us and help us extremely after our fight with the goblins. It was a terrible battle. I understand you didn't mean it entirely.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, darling. I don't actually mean it.
Mostly.
She kind of pets her horn because she doesn't have hair. Yes, I was like, well, the guild, so the Tabaxi just kind of smiles and says, well, if you guys decide that, please decide tonight, and if you even want, we can set, I'll call you into my office a little later, actually, and you guys can tell me your decision then, and sound good?
Pardon, your office? Are you one of the employees?
I am the guild warden here. Guild warden Kaya.
Okay. Now things are making a little bit of sense now. I'm so sorry. I was very curious as to why you were coming over here in the first place. But...
Sorry. I should have introduced myself earlier. Guild Warden Kaya. Over there, she points at the red-headed woman right here. She says, "That is Dorothy. She is actually my second in command. Um, uh, anything should happen, she'll take the job." She kind of laughs and um, she says, "But you know, I'll just I'll send someone out to call you in. There's a couple things of business that I do need to attend to. Um, but I eagerly await to hear your answer. You seem like a great bunch. So
Was
I
that your daughter running around by the
do. It is my daughter,
Okay.
Trixie. She is quite the handful. My little kitten. Quite love her. But she wants to go off and run around, and she's only 16. I'd much rather prefer to her but to be at least the ripe age of 18 before she goes out on adventures, risking her life. I know that life of an adventurer. I
Fair
actually,
enough.
yeah, true. It was nice. I met my husband actually out adventuring. She kind of points over at the tabaxi man who seems to be kind of like rifling through his pockets and um
Oh,
you see
bless his
like as
heart.
he's opening up his coat to like rifle through pockets, his coat is just lined with daggers. Like so many daggers. And as he's just like rifling and she just kind of like sighs and anyways, I must go attend to some business, but I'll hear from you in a bit.
Sure thing. Take care.
And so she actually ends up heading back and goes into her office.
Was the office, guys. That's what that room is.
What was the name of the red-haired lady again?
Dorothy. I will put that in the
Dorothy.
chat.
Okay.
She didn't say her last name, but she said her name was Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And you guys can discuss as a group your options. And as you do so, some people come in, some people leave, so.
So what did
Oh,
we
all right.
miss?
I've been
Not
thinking.
much. Your meal was taken, by the way.
It
But
was only just a few scraps anyway.
fair enough.
Merilla pointedly raises her eyebrows at you.
I was
Don't do
thinking,
that to me, woman. I didn't say who.
and I think it would be good for us to come together as a group. I haven't really seen most of you fighting, but I assume that we're all fairly capable.
Powerful sorceresses usually are.
Who was it who ended up taking down those goblins anyway? I didn't see any of
Guess
it.
you could say it was a group effort.
It was a team effort.
I'm going to be very honest. I would like to say I did, but I don't recall much.
We did take down that one after I firebolted it.
I did take him out, but like I said, after that, I don't really recall much.
Well,
It
you
was kind of hazy.
were knocked unconscious for quite a bit.
Either way, it doesn't really matter how the fight actually went down. Clearly, you are each capable fighters. And we were able to come in. If we were all together, we would have been able to easily take down those goblins.
Child, get in here. You're part of this. I was going to bring in, how do I pronounce your name again? Nuri?
Did you call me a child?
I did. I call it like I see it.
Are you talking about the person above? Are you talking about that one?
Yes.
That one.
Oh, that's Amaris.
That's
Amaris. My bad.
Nuri?
Conflict stopped.
I
you.
have been adding to this conversation.
I thought that was Nuri, right? Is that right?
Wow. A child. I'll let it be known, Douse, that I do have a child of my own and a husband. I'm not a child. But thank you for thinking I'm so young.
Dusty's just kind of watching back and forth.
Young. That's why I thought it. Yes. It's because of your youthful antics.
Dusty just he kind of cuts in. He's like, anyways, so aside from that, my point is we work together pretty well. I don't see why we wouldn't join together. And I personally know something we could start with if we do choose to come together. But I suppose we might want to get some of the semantics out of the way. Like, sounds like we need a name. We have paperwork, a bunch of official boring this stuff. But once we have that out of the way, then we'll be able to work together.
Yes.
I was thinking of some names while at the library, actually. And I came up with a few. There's the Shattering, or there's the Donkey Kick, or there's the Mind Melters, the Scolding Slayers, to play on the water that was used against the goblins. There's the Time Takers, the Time Slayers, or something like that.
A lot of these
Actually-
seem to be coming out of nowhere.
I'm actually really liking the Shattering or Time Takers.
Where does the time come from that we're taking exactly?
The death of other
Cheers, that sounds cool.
creatures. The time has ended, just like mine soon will.
Oh, don't say that. You're still quite young.
I suppose. I mean, if I especially join you, it'll certainly be shorter, but it'll be funner, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Was that a yes?
We don't need to decide on a name right now. I was just voicing my confusion in a few of those names.
Understandable. Do you have any name ideas?
And not at the moment, no. I
Oh.
was mostly thinking about whether or not we were going to be joining him. I feel like the name could come later. That's why I don't have any yet.
Oh.
Is anyone opposed to forming a group?
Nope.
Not opposed.
Merilla?
I think she might be opposed. She hasn't said anything.
I would be happy to have you in my
you
group.
all doing what you want to do, but I did come up here to retire and just sort of enjoy the warmth that tends to be up here in this part of Columbo.
I forget, we're in Steel Meadows?
Steel
Sorry.
Glen.
Steel Glen, dang it!
We'll crop it out to her mind, her aging mind. She just oh no.
That dementia is kicking in.
And my old mind, sometimes I forget important things, You probably don't want me to have me along. It could be a liability. It's old creaky bones.
You might be right.
Nonsense. She's not even that old.
Well, for as long as I've been awake, I'm around 73. I will tell you, since we...
73.
Yeah, see, not old at all.
I thought you
I
were
suppose
younger.
it's one thing for elves to say that.
That's true.
I shall say, I am
Can't forget there's
certainly
the age.
inclined. Let's continue talking. So what is this adventure that you have in mind for us, Dusty?
Well, it has to do with my home.
That's important already.
I am from the desert. I grew up there. And recently, there has been these attacks and sightings of This group who has been bothering us and our people. And
Usually attacks are a bother.
a little bit. At worst,
Yes.
they're a bother. Well, at best, they're a bother. At worst, people will end up hurt or even dead.
Do you know what the group is called?
Yes. They go by the Jackalwares.
Jackalwares.
Yes, if anyone knows them.
Do you know what any of them look like?
Do I know what any of them look like?
They're not so much a group called the Jackalwares as they
They
are
Jackalwares.
Jackalwares.
It's all good. We'll just say I said that instead. That makes more
Yeah.
sense. What is Jackalware? What is a Jackalware?
A-
Dusty describes to you what a Jackaware looks like and what these creatures are.
So Jackalware basically kind of looks like a very tall, very thin, almost werewolf-like creature. But not quite werewolves. They aren't like I said, they're thinner, lankier, generally not like crazy strong. They usually come like in packs, and that's where their strength comes from. Yeah.
So it's been a bit of a difficulty to deal with the numbers of them. And so if we could, we might be able to work together to figure out perhaps where they're coming from. I am not too big a fan of exterminating them. I don't think that would solve anything. But if we have to fight a few of them to figure out what's going on, then so be it. But this is my home. It's where I learned magic, where I learned the arts that I have, and it means a lot to me. Merilla,
I would be very interested in seeing where you're from.
Yeah, I would be glad to show you around.
It would definitely be different from what you're used to, Blue Boy.
That is for sure. It's not as dry back home.
No,
As Dusty is well aware.
no, it's not quite as dry over there.
Excuse me. Are you the group that was going to go see Guildmaster Kaya? She waits you in her office.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Who approaches?
Oh, sorry. It's this maid over here.
Okay.
That's what I was assuming when I saw the maid. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I moved her in. So this kind of like shorter, like human girl with kind of like this long brown hair, wearing a little bit of like a maid's frock, comes up and she says, I was told to come fetch you for Guildmaster Kaya.
Yes. Are we ready? I suppose we still need an official name.
We're still discussing
maid.
But presently,
name,
does she?
You don't
needed
need the name immediately. You don't need the name immediately if you're still working on that. Generally,
Okay.
she'll talk with you about going on. If you decide to go, she'll talk to you about going on a first quest to pretty much initiate you into the guild. Pretty much, you go on a quest, and then you come back, and you're officialized, and that's when you name yourselves after your first quest.
Fair enough.
So she'll go in, and if you guys agree and talk, she'll talk about your first quest.
Okay.
Sounds
I've
good.
never
Thank you.
seen.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm my own person. Talk to her.
Well, she says, it's just through these doors. Just head up straight, and it'll be the first door on the right.
I just mumble under my breath, oh, now we're allowed down the doors.
Okay, well, you guys she opens up the door for you guys.
Sorry, Merilla, were you going to ask her something?
No, I had no questions for her. I was merely thinking out loud that I had never seen the desert. I've been to many places in Collinburg, but never there. might be also interesting to see
Fair enough.
Would you
before I
like
retire and
to-
finally settle down.
Would you like to join us then?
Sure. For now, yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much for being with us.
Sleepovers, yes, I can't believe I forgot about that.
Alrighty, you guys can head through the door and start making your way there.
Through the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
She
follow
comes-
behind Nuri and Merilla just to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what did you
guys-
call me?
Nuri?
Sierra's Nuri.
Oh, not Merilla, sorry. I said Amarilla.
It's
My
Amaris.
bad.
And
Amaris.
and okay.
I'm
On
sorry.
makes
I'm
sense.
still getting names around.
No, you're good.
You're good, you're good.
You see the maid just going and she starts cleaning up some of the dishes left on the tables.
Marilla makes sure she takes the last bits that she can carry off of her plate and as we walk. Do you see them?
So the door that you're looking for is right up here.
Could I take a little detour to see what's in the store?
I mean, you can look.
I don't think that's the way we're supposed to be going.
If
She
you
did say on the right. It's the first
She's
thing
a
to
little
the right.
originally challenged. Don't worry
Okay, so
about
you
it.
like kind of go off to the side, and okay,
I think but more doors that way.
yeah. So it's locked. You find out that door is locked. So
Such a big place.
So Dusty's gonna go up to the door on the right. Is it open?
yeah, it's open. You can actually
Okay.
click on the door icon, and it'll open.
Okay. Well, he wouldn't just
Okay.
open the door, he'd knock.
Okay, so you knock on the door. There's like no noises or anything coming from inside, so it
I'll
seems
open
like
the door.
like okay, you open up the
We'll open it.
door. Okay, so you can enter in. You actually see like this really nice office. Right behind her, the entire wall is covered with a shelf of bookshelves.
I
The
can't grab
desk,
myself.
the desk itself is littered with papers.
There we go.
And you actually see she's in this seated in this giant chair, but the back of the chair is facing you, so you can only see like her cat ears, like over the top.
Awesome. Dusty will call out to her. He says, Kaya, are you in here?
There is no response.
Oh shoot.
Oh no.
Hello,
Hello?
cat woman, Kaya. Will
Gonna
you
walk on
come?
Laura.
Yeah, I'm
So are
gonna
you
walk
walking
over.
around?
Approach.
Okay, so you guys approach, and you actually see sitting in the chair, sorry, I have my notes here. So Kaya is in her chair. You see her leaned up against it, and the first things that you notice is her entire jaw is gone and sitting in her lap, and her heart is missing.
The
Okay.
hearts.
She must
The
be
hearts are the
dead.
tastiest.
That is what someone said earlier.
Isn't that what someone was eating earlier? I couldn't quite hear. But Douse, you were there. This is disgusting.
Dusty's gonna go up
She's
and
gonna
see if
step
there's
away a little bit.
anything
Don't
at all
touch
he
anything.
can
Don't touch
do.
anything.
He's just
Um,
inspecting, not touching it.
This is not going to look good on us, being the ones who
Are
found
you-
her.
Are you trying to investigate the body to see like what are you trying to do, Dusty?
Well, she's very clearly dead, right? But he's just making like a quick check to see if like there's anything at all he could do. He's not like reaching around or anything. He's just kind of looking around and seeing if there's like anything he could do to like solve the situation.
So what you can do is you can do like a quick investigation on her body to see like you can roll an investigation check to like kind of learn more about the situation, because there's nothing you can really do to heal her because she's dead.
Because she dead. Her heart not there anymore. I need a new heart first.
Like, since her heart is gone, there's no way to do the resurrection spell. You would have to do the higher powerful true resurrection spell.
Oh, good.
You could always
So,
just do a reincarnation.
basically, because, like,
So, basically what we're saying is, we probably should go get someone.
well, are you rolling that investigation check or no?
That's a good question. I don't want to investigate anything, like, I don't want to touch anything.
Okay,
I
you
can look
do
around.
a visual. Okay, so you can do
I'll
a
get a
visual
visual.
investigation of her body. Roll investigation.
Alright.
Also, Merilla, as you are coming around to this side, you see that this door was left open.
It is a 2 that I rolled.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
curious.
dead.
She's dead.
Um,
Everyone, this
around.
door is cracked open a bit, but as we came up and I peeked into that right area, there was nobody there. How fresh does that look? Somebody else, please check for me. My old eyes don't know.
I'm sorry, the doorway?
Yes, the doorway is left open. No, nobody's touched it.
I'm gonna
Are you
go
wanting us
through
to
the
check
doorway.
the body or the doorway?
No, the body. How fresh is it?
I'll
it's
do an
very
investigation check.
yeah. So roll investigation on the body. I'm gonna move you.
Can Marilla roll investigation to look for blood on the door?
Oh, so you're not gonna investigate the body? You're gonna look at the door instead?
Yeah, Marilla doesn't want to be around the body.
Oh, okay. So you're going to the door
It's the trauma
Yeah.
from her previous kill.
I rolled a 12,
for what?
investigating the body.
Okay. You notice that there is a light, powdery substance in her fur, kind of around her face, basically her upper face, because her lower face is gone.
I will share this information. There's some powder on her head. Don't know if that means anything.
What color is the powder? Marilla asks over her shoulder.
White?
Mhm.
White.
It's not facial powder.
Merilla, so you don't see any bloody. You don't see any blood on the door at all.
Can
Okay, I don't
do
need to roll
a
for that.
general scan of the room just to see if there's anywhere a culprit would hide?
I was gonna say the same thing. I might want to actually look around.
Yeah, so you
Survey
can
the
roll.
room.
So what you can do is you can roll perception just to kind of perceive things in the room, or you can roll investigation on specific things in the room. Okay, so that's kind of how this investigation is gonna go.
Okay.
Okay, so
Amaris, you also don't see anyone down that hallway.
if I am looking
But there
for
is a door.
specifically a area that would be big enough to hide a person, would that be investigation or perception?
I would say perception because you're looking for an area, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm gonna try surveying the room.
Okay.
What is
Perception
my...
check.
I got a nat 25.
Ooh.
Dang, nat 20.
20.
And I got a 7.
I opened my third eye.
You got a 7. Oh, okay.
The desert
So
does things to
for
people.
you, Dane, it doesn't look like there's any places that someone could really hide here. With your
I
7,
think we're
that's it.
safe. The culprit can't be in this room right now.
Greg, with your nat 20, you do notice, of course, she's dead in her chair, right? And you guys have kind of with the investigation, the chair has kind of rotated a little bit. So she's kind of facing her desk, kind of facing the wall. You notice that there's a ton of files on her desk that show the adventuring case of the bandit leader Big Nose Jack. So the case against that. You actually do notice that next to her chair, kind of on the ground, there's a bloody knife. And there is a small pendant on the floor that you notice as well, kind of off. I was pointing at my screen, off kind of in this corner over here, like it fell off. So those are the things that you perceive in the room.
Nose Jack. Did we happen to talk to anyone who knew anything about Big Nose Jack?
Well, I mean, the Valkyries did something about him. Maybe we could find them.
What we need to do is clear our names. We have to
might
tell
wanna find
everyone what has
someone.
happened.
Yeah.
You
Otherwise,
hear
someone
an
else will
ear-piercing
stumble.
Scream.
It's too
No.
You hear an ear-piercing
What was
scream as Trixie enters the room.
Of course.
And she starts shouting, "Ah!" and she runs and she books it out.
I'm a chaser.
Well,
I'm not gonna chase her. I'm not gonna chase her, but I'm gonna follow behind. And actually, it might be good to stay here. That way, we're all together. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stick together. I'm gonna stick with the people I know.
You see,
Morris is just down in that hallway, just like frozen, just like, oh crap.
Rilla's gonna like beckon you back in the room.
the first people to the scene is, of course, her father that comes running in, and Douse, as you're chasing her, he comes running and he grabs her and like pushes her behind him, and he pulls out a sword and he's like, "What's going on?
Hold up.
And she's like,
Hold up. You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. She starts screaming. She's like, she's dead. They started. She's dead, Mom. She's dead. And he's like wide-eyed as he like points his blade. And Dorothy comes running up, and she comes up to you, blade at your throat. She's like, "What happened?"
This is a very good question. We are trying to decide that as well. We have just come for our meeting. If you ask the maid who had sent us, he would tell us that we've only been here for maybe 2 minutes tops, which is not enough to have done what is in there.
She's like kind of like edging you back into the room.
All right, I will
Follow or go.
While that's happening, can Merilla look at the ceiling?
Yes. It
Okay.
looks like a ceiling.
Colbean's like, no one's up there in the rafters.
Nothing.
Okay.
There's no one.
As you can see, we are already trying to devise. We have people checking out the body to see what had happened. We didn't want to make a fuss, as we had just ran into it. We wanted to make sure the scene was safe first as well.
Okay. You see that the two. Ooh, I do not know what happened there. Okay.
I will immediately turn to the father and be like, "Are you sure you want your daughter to be in here to see this?"
She's kind of gripping onto him right now. And he turns, and he asks Anira to take her. So she chills with Anira, kind of over in this room. Dash is watching the door. You see the lizard woman, like, you see her kind of like poking in. And he's like, and you see the Tabaxi, he's kind of like, just, can you just call everyone at the party? We're dealing with the situation. And she's like, yes. And so she leaves back to the party. That there's not really anyone in there anymore.
Wait. Sorry, say that one more time.
What?
The lizard person came in?
Yeah, she came up to the door because, you know.
It was the lizard lady who ate the heart.
Yeah.
Can I roll insight on her?
Well, I mean, all she did was she came in and she didn't even come fully in. She didn't even see like exactly what was going on. He just said, "Hey, just calm everyone down at the party," before she even really saw anything. And she was like, "Yeah," and left. So there's not really much to roll insight on. But that can come
Okay.
later.
Okay.
So Dusty's gonna go up to, or perhaps not go up to him, but call out to him and say, "You are the guild warden's husband, correct?"
He says, "Yes, I am Novak."
Novak. I'm so
And
sorry.
he's like, "All of you, against the wall, right now."
Sure. And he'll go up against the wall.
Which
Over
wall?
here. This wall that he's pointing at.
Merilla obliges and goes in the corner. She kind of like winks at Amaris or like that does something.
Okay. The gnome lady, or that, not, sorry, not gnome, the halfling woman sees Amaris and she's like, "You two get over here."
Okay. And I just go over.
Against the wall.
I took the very long way around the body. Just
It's
thought
a
to notice
bit of a
anything
tight
else
space.
possible.
I mean, you would have to roll an investigation check, but you've perceived everything that you kind of can in the room for now. Oop.
Mhm.
But you would need an investigation check to like investigate things further.
Did someone pick up the amulet?
It's still on
Okay,
the
Which
floor.
corner?
It's in the
Everything.
corner, actually,
We
kind
have
of by
not-
her.
Nothing has been touched.
Nothing really has been touched. That's true. It's
Not even
kind
the
of
Look
by
at it
doorknob.
closely.
Actually, a doorknob. We touched a doorknob.
True. You see that Dash comes ushering in like with the maid, and Novak kind of goes over to her. He's like, "You were the last person with her. What happened?" And she's kind of like, "I swear she was totally fine, and then I left to go get the group, and then I sent them in here, and this I don't know what happened."
Insight.
Roll insight.
Yay!
Ooh, I might
This
want to
is
roll
her-
insight on that as well, actually.
19.
Yeah.
19.
What she's saying is true. That means either the person has died within the past 15 or so minutes.
Well, yeah.
She
Because she was dead when we came in. Which would be that if you trust me, that's I understand if you don't because of the situation.
you guys actually, from hearing her, she seems genuinely like in shock and disgust at like seeing this image, and her words, she's like kind of like crying as she says them. She seems very truthful and honest from what you can tell. She does not know what happened.
Is there a healer in this town? Because we could just bring her back and she could, testify that we didn't do it. Just saying.
Dusty cuts you off. He's like,
Now's not the time.
He kind of, Novak kind of bares his teeth at you, his cat-like teeth. And he kind of comes over and he like kind of looks at her body and he's like, "We don't have any healer in town that can do a true resurrection. It'd take a week at minimum for a healer to come from the main city to get here. And to do that, so it'd take a week."
That would probably be too long.
Well, true resurrection can go up to like 500 years, so she'll
Oh,
resurrect.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you have like some sort of biological thing from them, so like a finger, you can resurrect with a true resurrection. Like for
We also
5
need the money to pay
Yeah, you
whoever
need
does
the
it.
money. Um,
Merilla's gonna have a very honest, shocked, and sad expression on her face.
okay. Alrighty. So you do that. The halflings kind of come up, and so does Dorothy. And they all seem like like kind of, well, it seems like Dorothy, Novak, it seems like all of them actually are like kind of fighting back tears. As they're looking at this, and Dorothy's just kind of gripping the edge of her blade. She's like,
Insight on Dorothy.
on the action?
Just on her, but I guess, yeah, on that action too.
I mean, I guess. Roll insight.
12.
12. I mean, she seems angry, with her action. She seems upset. That's about as much as you can kind of gauge.
Okay.
And Dorothy's like, we'd have to do this. Wasn't no time. And Novak's like, okay. And he points to all of you guys and he's like, someone better explain right now. You see kind of like tears kind of like poking at the corner of his eyes. He's like, his fur is bristling and on edge. What happened?
Sir,
I told you what happened.
I promise you, we do not know. The mage sent us back here. We came into the room and found her like this. We have been trying to figure out what happened, who might have done this. We did not do this, honestly.
He rolled a nat 20 on his insight check on you.
Well, it's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Lucky for us.
He kind of comes up and he's like,
And as he comes up, she just kind of like shrinks back a little bit.
I want to believe you. We need proof of who did this. So you're not in the clear.
Yes, sir.
But any aid that you have in finding the culprit would be appreciated. But I'm watching every move you make. You can, Douse. Alrighty.
So Dusty's gonna pipe up. He's gonna say, well, I did have a good look around the room. I can only tell you what I found. If you would like that information.
Yes.
And you'll see it exactly as he says, because we touched nothing.
Okay. And so you tell him that information?
Yeah, the dust in her hair, the knife, the amulet, the papers. And that's anything else I noticed.
Okay. Alrighty. So you tell him and they all are kind of like, okay. The halflings are kind of like, well, let me see. So pretty much Dash brings the maid out because the maid kind of can't really handle looking at the body right now. And pretty much Novak is going to relay all the information to Dorothy. And he's going to say, keep an eye on them. I need to go to Trixie. Calm her down. And Dorothy kind of nods. And Novak goes to be with his daughter for a bit. And pretty much the halflings, it does not.
Okay.
And the halflings basically kind of go and watch the doors. They're pretty much gonna go investigate the other, like, rooms and such in the guild hall for, like, other evidence. So they're gonna go there, and Dorothy's gonna be watching you guys while you guys can continue to investigate the room under her watchful eye.
I'm going to go back to the door that was already open and check the door at the end of the hallway.
Okay. You can head over that way.
It's unlocked.
It is unlocked. You see,
I'm going to peek inside.
yeah, you can peek inside, you can enter inside. You actually see the halfling woman that you don't know her name yet. She's actually kind of like investigating some of the barrels and like crates in this room. Because it's pretty similar to the other room on the other side. You actually can see there's a hallway right here that connects both rooms. Just kind of like a living quarters area.
I'm just gonna like slip into the room. I'm gonna keep the door open so that no one gets suspicious.
Yeah, because the halfling girl kind of looks at you and she's like, you better not get too far from Dorothy. She, takes her orders very seriously.
I know. So I'm leaving the door open.
Okay.
All
right.
Merilla is going to walk. Sorry, did you want to
No,
say
I was
something
going to
first?
say, I was coming back to you guys, so Merilla.
Oh, okay. So Merilla is going to walk over to the desk with her hands behind her back. And as she's walking, she's going to say to Dorothy, well, Kaya, was that her name? We only just briefly met her, and she seemed very experienced adventurer, and she seemed quite fond of you. Truly. I didn't get the chance to ask, but was there a story that involved both of you that she liked to tell other people? And as she's listening to the answer, she's going to be like listening, but also scanning the document for any like signing lines, signature lines, stuff like
The
that.
files on the table.
Yeah, not necessarily for information, but anything that needs like a stamp or an official.
Okay. All right, roll investigation.
Cool beans.
You see, she kind of is chatting, and well, Kai and I were best friends growing up, so we were all part of the same adventuring group, actually. The Blazing Blades. And now, Merilla, you've actually heard of the Blazing Blades. This was an old adventuring party forever ago, several years ago. Like they disbanded about 16, 17 years ago. But they were a very good group of warriors that went on lots of adventures. You heard of them like single-handedly saving the oh my gosh, what's the main city in this in this country? They're single-handedly saving the city from, disaster. It is Sunshield. Single-handedly saving Sunshield from disaster, basically. And she kind of goes off and starts talking about a tale of when they were battle buddies, when it just was the two of them, and they would go out snake hunting with each other. And pretty much, Maya was always the better one at catching snakes, with her cat-like reflexes and all. Or Kai was better at that. but they always would have so much fun. So.
Snake-like reflexes. Truly, that is a wonder.
Cat-like reflexes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're like reflecting on
Oh.
this story about how they would catch snakes together, and Kai was better at it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Very good.
know of anyone who could out-maneuver her?
Novak? I mean, he would
Her
always.
husband.
I mean, he was the only one that could ever beat her in a battle. Besides, sometimes I would match her. But they were pretty on par. He's a roguish type. Has lots of knives, as you can see.
Would
Marilla's gonna glance down at the knife on the floor.
That was gonna be what Douse is looking at, as the knife.
Okay, so you make an investigation check on the knife. Merilla, you got a 10 for investigating the papers?
Yeah, the papers.
Let me pull them up. Investigate. So you notice, there's nothing, so pretty much, like, there's like a paper that says like a completion of quest that did require like her stamp of approval. And that is like stamped on the page already, but it looks like it's been stamped there for a couple hours at least. And then what you also notice is besides this is there's a list of all the people who have been killed in the bandit raids by Big Nose Jack.
That was a 10 total.
10 total on the knife?
For me.
Yes. Okay, as you're investigating the knife, you actually notice an initial carved into the pommel that says ND.
That's Novak. Dude, he's definitely framed.
Not determinable. But yeah, that's where I would have done is like, does his knife look like this? As I lifted it up.
Oh, you're holding it up and saying, does his knives look like?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure he has knives like that in his collection. He likes to collect them.
Okay, well, this may or may not be the murder weapon. I mean, I think it is. It's fairly clearly right next to the body, covered in blood. But I'll let you hold on to that.
She kind of like grabs it and sets it on the table. She doesn't want to mess with the evidence any further. And also know, like, you can investigate these things for higher results as well, like different people or getting assistance on it, because I have like different levels of like, depending on what you roll, you get this information.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
So yeah, so Dusty, Nuri, are you guys doing anything?
I'm just gonna take a look around and see if there's any shadowy corners.
It doesn't seem like there are really any shadowy corners from what you can perceive. The room itself
Pretty well
seems
lit area.
Yeah, it's pretty well lit. Like it seems like Kaya herself didn't really like shadowy corners.
Okay.
The only thing I can really think to do, this is going to be a fun little thing. So, Dusty, if we'll come kind of to the center of the room, he says, hold on, I'm going to check something. And he's going to cast Detect Magic. Which should
Yeah, I'll definitely cover the whole room.
So, he'll cast Detect Magic, which will reveal anything within 30 feet of me that is magical. And I can use my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area. So it doesn't detect invisible things.
And you can tell
there's magic.
the school of magic, right?
And I also learned the school of magic, and it penetrates most barriers, but it is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. So he'll first cast it here, and then if he doesn't see anything, he'll head downwards towards that door on the right.
Okay. So, as you cast Detect Magic in the room, you do notice, let me make sure I'm getting this right real quick. Okay. You do notice, kind of, this is like only from like Dusty vision, like no one else like can see this. But from your point of view, you actually see the Dorothy's sword on her hip glow, kind of like a light bluish color. And you detect it as, you detect magic on it, like it's a magical blade. The type of like, I think it's evocation would be the type. And you actually notice that Kaya also has a blade on her hip that is shimmering a light blue under your spell. You also sense evocation from that. And a ring on Kaya's finger that is, I want to say abjuration. I don't know. I don't remember exactly for the specific.
Protective in nature. Protective in nature. Magical barriers.
I'll just say it's a ring of water walking, so whatever school of magic that is.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Those are the only forms of magic in the room.
Okay. And then he'll move his way towards down here. It also lasts for about 10 minutes. He'll come down here. Oh, hello. He will.
Yep. You don't sense. Yeah, you don't sense any other like magical items. Actually, on the girl, she does have a pendant that kind of radiates magic, but not like. I guess technically it wouldn't be magic. It's like a religious symbol, like an arcane focus.
Okay.
So I don't know if that would detect magic or not. Question mark. But basically, thank you, Douse. It was transmutation magic on her ring. But yeah, so, and pretty much it seems like she herself, you also notice her bag kind of glows. The halfling's bag glows. So that also is magic in nature. Whatever magic a bag of holding is.
That's
Dorothy kind of comes over to the door and she's like, "Hey, don't go too far. Get back here."
All right. Is there anywhere else I can go? I have a detect magic spell going.
Oh, how much longer does detect magic go for?
10 minutes total.
10 minutes? Okay, is it total. You can move around with it?
Yep.
Yes.
It's cast on myself.
Okay. So she tells all of you guys to stay in here and don't mess with the crime scene, but I guess still investigate. She's like, just yeah. And
that'll be kind of hard to whatever.
She follows, and so she brings you around, Dusty, as you guys walk around. Pretty much the only so you can come over here and detect magic on things. Pretty much everyone kind of mostly has at least one magical or two magical items on them.
Mm-hmm.
As you're kind of coming around, you come out into the main area here. This is where you're starting to get rare, most of these people don't have magical stuff on them. So Cass doesn't have any, the lizard woman doesn't have any magical stuff on her. I just say their name and then I I'm like, wait, you don't know that?
Nope, bad name. Okay, keep going.
So yeah, you notice
She said for those at home, she said the jaw droppers in the chat, and we're not using that for our party name. So
the jaw droppers. Wow.
Perfect.
Okay. So pretty much she like brings you you guys scan the privy together, and there's nothing. She actually brings you into this like locked room. I'm not gonna go through the thing of unlocking it, but it's like a bedroom you find. Just like a simple bedroom. She relocks the door, and then you're gonna find the same thing in this room. It's also a bedroom. She relocks the door, she leaves. Then you guys can go back there. While she was Marilla?
Two things, super quick. So, white powder on her head, there's nothing on the ceiling directly above.
Nope.
And there's no like paintings on the wall behind her?
No, it's just a full bookshelf. Like the whole wall is a bookshelf.
Oh. Okay. So then, could Merilla roll insight to catch any sort of expression of what's left
of the half of her face.
Kaya's face?
The bottom half of the face, because the jaws. It's just the bottom like jaw that's missing.
Upper half of the face, right?
Yeah. So specifically, Merilla is wondering if the expression is like more relaxed, or if it's intent on, like battle or being horrified.
I mean, I don't know. Well, okay, so roll. What I would do is I would roll investigation again.
Okay.
I would just roll investigation for that.
Valid. Marilla's gonna like be looking, but like not physically. I was like, it's so gross.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, sorry, that was the wrong one. My bad.
Now you're Gucci.
Oh, it was even worse. 12.
12 investigation. I mean, you can kind of get from her face, like she seemed kind of relaxed. It when at least like her eyebrows are like relaxed, they're not furrowed or like anything. Yeah.
Well, at least she's either, I don't even know what to call it. She's either relaxed because she's dead, and she's literally saying this out loud because she just doesn't know. Or she was rather comfortable with whoever was in the room with her when she died.
Amaris?
I can't tell.
So I am going to look around this room a bit and notice, and just come over here and notice like this little opening. And I'm just gonna like peek around, trying not to be seen. Just
I guess
peek around it.
Stealth?
Okay. I'm gonna move my character just so I can see what you're talking about. Okay. Not that my character's actually going around. I was just trying to get my own.
Roll. So you've got a stealth of 16. There's a lot of people in there, and they are all very distracted. You see when you kind of come in, it's the same room like you were talking about, like I told you about before. There's like barrels kind of along the sides. You with your peeking, you can kind of only see what you see, which would be you see a Naira and Novak here talking to Trixie, who's kind of like sitting again with her back against the stone wall, sitting on the floor, and Novak's kind of sitting with her. Anira is kneeling right in front of her. And they just seem to be kind of like whispering, and Novak's got his arm around her, and he's like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Nuri.
Is the small pendant still in the corner?
Yep.
I want to go look at the pendant and like study what it is. Like the design, initials.
Yep, investigation check.
I didn't see any magic from the pendant, correct?
Yep.
Investigation.
21. Dang. Okay.
Please,
Sierra should be rolling these investigation checks.
I know, right? Every time I use my
right?
dice, I keep getting below 10.
I know all of you guys are rolling so low. You guys can also like talk to people as well. Just putting that into the universe. So you got the pendant. So what you see on the pendant as you're investigating is there's actually a symbol on there. So it seems to be a religious symbol. It's a circle with a line cut through the center. Kind of like cut through it, basically. And that's what the pendant is. There's nothing else on it that you can find. Pretty standard. It seems to be some sort of religious affiliation.
Would I know what religion?
It doesn't seem to be one that you particularly know.
Merilla's going to turn her head away from what remains of Kaya, and she's going to, oh, what a vast amount of books she has, mentally entertain herself.
Yeah, because it's kind of...
Would I be able to look at that medallion and see if I recognize it as being a monk?
Yeah, you can like head over and like talk to Nuri about it and roll for religion on that front.
Unless Nuri wants to do it herself.
By all means, go ahead.
Okay.
16. It seems to be like ringing a bell. You can't quite place what religion it is, but it seems to be like, from what you remember, seeing this symbol meant not good. Like bad juju.
This is omen. I think maybe from the bell goddess, some evil.
Is there really such a thing as a bell goddess? Just kind of like overhearing you.
Is it in any particular shape, I guess, that would show kind of what the deity was of, or what the religious symbol?
This particular one, it's kind of like a teardrop shaped pendant, with just the circle with the line drawn through it, crossed through. You could ask around to other people to see if they recognize it as well.
Okay. I mean, I'm not the one holding it, Kurt, but...
Yeah, Nuri's got it right now, but... like, you guys are both investigating it. Dusty, was there anything else you wanted to investigate in this room?
Nothing that I can really think of. We've got a pretty good survey of the room. There's nothing really magical of note.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was one other magical thing in this room, and I totally forgot to tell you.
Is it of note?
No, it's the bloody knife.
The person who killed me was.
It's the knife?
It's the bloody knife that's on the
No,
table.
It's the confession letter.
Is that another evocation?
No. It seems to be... I want to say, like, transmutation or abjuration, one of those. Pretty much what you see is that it's not particularly the knife, as it is, you notice that there are glyphs. When you cast the spell, that there are glyphs that appear on the blade. On the blade of the knife. So. And that's something that you noticed with your detect magic.
So Merilla, just kind of like seeing you, what to her just looks like you're standing around, Dusty. She's going to look away.
from the bookshelf, and she's gonna kind of like wave you over to where she's at. You, tall boy.
Yep.
Can I use your help with something?
Of course. What is it?
I am so intrigued, but I can't look at it anymore. On the poor Kaya's face is an odd white powder. Do you have any idea what it could be? She's very decisively not looking, but
let me see.
I don't think it's face powder. She doesn't seem like that kind of female.
Let me see. I might actually be able to do something. Maybe I'll look at my character sheet. Let's see what I have.
I would roll either a history or an arcana check.
History or arcana? Okay. Let's see. Magical nature. I was thinking maybe with an herbalism kit, I could determine something. Would that have any value in this situation?
I would give you advantage on the roll.
Okay, advantage on an arcana check. Let's say that.
Okay, as you're using your herbalism kit to kind of like carefully remove it and you know
the powder.
Yeah.
Check around. This
carefully remove it, take a quick taste.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 9 total.
Don't do that at home, kids.
You're like fiddling around with it. You're like still figuring out how to use your herbalism kit specifically on this kind of like powdery stuff. So, for those watching, he rolled an 8 and a 9. So
we're the best detectives.
You can ask for help.
You took it off. Wait, no, sorry, you first.
I was going to say, you can ask for some assistance if you believe you would need assistance with what you're doing.
Probably. Not exactly sure. Do you have any ideas? He kind of brings some of the powder over so she doesn't have to look at the corpse.
Thank you very much, tall boy. Dusty, I'm sorry, I should use your name. Very kind of you. And Merilla is going to look at the powder.
Okay.
What were the choices? Arcana or what?
History?
I'm gonna go with Arcana. Do I get advantage too?
Because he's assisting you, sure. Get
advantage.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
I'll let you do the Arcana stuff from now on. That was a 20 and an 18.
30-20. Okay. Alrighty. So you my brain just blanked for a second. So as you're kind of looking at this, you recognize this powder from your travels. It's a very rare substance. It's a deadly poison that comes from the south, actually.
She would know about that.
Mm-hmm. So kind of from the southern areas, very rare. It's hard to come by. What you know is just like one inhale could kill a person, basically. That's why it's very difficult to produce. There's not a lot of it. Rare to have.
Dusty! And she's gonna like take your hand and stop you from your, filtering through your fingers. And it's like, take it away from your face. And she's gonna like lower your hand down. This is a very rare and toxic poison.
Oh. What?
So she was dead. If this poison we used, then it's very possible she's going to like remove her hand. Like, I don't want anything to do with this substance.
Oh.
If it was used, then it's very entirely possible that Kaya was dead before this all happened to her.
So when
somebody hated her a lot.
When I was perceiving the dagger, I have a question. The specific type of magic, was it something that concealed its appearance? Was it something that affected its
pretty much thing? You couldn't really It seemed like it was more like making the glyphs appear, like transmutation or illusion. Illusion, that's the word. Thank you.
Illusion.
It's illusion. So the glyphs were like illusory script, basically. So you detected the magic on the blade. So it's not like the glyphs were carved into the blade at all. It seemed like magic caused the glyphs to be there.
Interesting.
Dusty, please, before you do anything else, wipe off your hands.
And she quickly, like, on like the lowest part of her robe, just rubs it off.
The worst thing to do is inhale it. That's how it kills you.
And from this investigation that you have, you can probably garner that, like some of it was just tossed in her face by the way that it was like sprayed on her upper half. And that's probably what killed her.
That's so strange. You would have thought that, the jaw and heart removal would have been, the thing that actually killed her, but perhaps that was more of a ceremonial thing. Something that came afterwards. As sort of
Yes, I think
symbol.
so. This killer had true intent. This was meditated. You don't get this poison without excruciating effort. And also resources. This is very, very rare from very far away. People in North shouldn't have this. Nobody should have it, really.
Perhaps not. We should share this with the others.
In our group, yes.
And then she says this very quietly because Dorothy is in the room.
I don't trust this woman. Not entirely.
He kind of looks up towards Dorothy. She's like,
Dorothy's kind of like looking at her blade, just kind of like running her thumb along it. She like makes eye
when
contact.
she's gonna kill someone.
He turns back and he says, okay, well, we can wait for the others to get back. Surely her husband should know.
Amaris is going to come back into the room.
Okay.
He might not be able to help us very much.
In reference to the husband.
I suppose not necessarily. But he did ask us to survey the room. It's only
He did.
fair.
But also keep in mind...
Oh, wait. So does Merilla know about the initials on the dagger?
I have not shared that.
Okay, never mind. JK.
Yeah, so what you guys can do
He still doesn't trust Dorothy, though.
Yeah, Dorothy is actually going to... She kind of is like, I'm going to say the information that I know and I'm going to go tell Novak. So she leaves you guys for a minute. So you guys can, like, talk about what you, like, encountered all together and, like, shared your information, if you wish.
Yeah.
Suspects. This person is trusting us quite a bit to leave us alone in the room like this. But anyways.
Well, to be fair, the door is guarded by, like, 3 people out there.
Yes, but now that we're unsupervised, we could tamper with evidence, is what I was getting at.
You
Not that we will.
but...
Let's not.
I was just very surprised. That's all.
Dusty will share what he saw with the magic. Just there's magic items scattered amongst people. The dagger has runes on it, some kind of illusory magic. But aside from that, that's all he gathered.
The dagger over here, it has the initials. It was NB or N. ND. It was ND. I don't know the last name of the husband, so I'd say it's a jump to conclude that it's his, but it's possible.
But it might be. During the party, do you remember we saw the husband, his name Novak? He was kind of checking his coat a little bit, and that's how we saw that he had so many knives.
Yes,
right.
That is a very good point.
Was the runes and the text separate on the dagger, or were they the same?
Yeah, so, like, imagine, like, the pommel of the dagger, like, the very back, that's where ND was actually, like, carved into it. And on the blade of the dagger, so the part that actually cuts into people, had the glowing runes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you got the runes, I got the initials, basically. But neither of us got both at once.
I don't think that someone as experienced as Dorothy claims Novak to be, and certainly he must be, if he was to be part of the Blazing Blades.
Blazing Blades.
Okay, excellent.
Well done.
Would plan something like this, and then even a moment show his weaponry to a room full of bustling people. He can't be stupid. Not
also,
as a
this
rogue.
is the husband. Why would a husband kill the person he loves?
Exactly. That's why I don't think it was him.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense to me.
Exactly.
He seemed very pained as he was in here.
And it's a horrible idea to leave the murder weapon with your initials on it at the crime scene.
Yes.
What? You guys don't do that? Oh.
I think we know who it is not. But I think it may be a step. Amaris, you left for quite some time. What did you find?
Well, I noticed in the room that I was in, there was a little opening leading right out to that area where the office door is. So whoever the killer is, they could have easily slipped in here, done the deed, and then slipped out another way to make it look like they weren't even in the office at all.
Wasn't the door open when we came in?
Yes.
It was.
Why would they leave the door open as they left? Why wouldn't they just close it behind them?
Could they have heard us coming? Perhaps. I mean,
could have.
They weren't exactly being stealthy.
Well, no. They could have been stealthy by leaving the door open, because if they had closed the door, there was a chance it could have made noise.
Oh yes, that is very insightful, Amaris. I was talking about us, though. We weren't trying to be stealthy. They could definitely hear us approaching, probably.
True.
That is very. I'm going to remember that.
There are a few other things. Nuri, would you like to share with them what you've shared with me?
Well, if you remember at the beginning when we entered, he did fight with Kai. They were upset, and then he stormed off.
Was that the husband, or who fought with Kai?
The husband. The husband fought with his wife. And then he stormed back here.
Right. And then earlier, I did get a peek into that room just outside the office, and it was Novak who left the office.
Yes, but she was alive.
There could be a chance he said, yes, so he could have set up a trap.
Angry enough to kill his wife? They have a kid together. That doesn't make any sense. I don't see what that would do to his daughter, what that would do to the people around him. I don't see any real motivation for him to kill her right now.
Nuri's face kind of...
Go ahead.
Amaris's fingers start fidgeting a bit, and she's like, well, I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that someone had tried to kill someone else in their family, even if it was their significant other.
Inside. No, I'm kidding, I won't.
Nuri, what were you saying?
It was just, while that conversation was happening about the child and the dad, her face had grown kind of grim and dark, and she just kind of was like, they don't necessarily have to have the best motivation to try and kill them.
True, but I will not disagree with you, the fact that it could have been him, but at this point, he may have the circumstances to be in the place, but we don't have a motive for him yet. From what we've seen, yes, they were fighting, but he seems like a loving father, from what I've seen so far.
He did leave to comfort her when he could have stayed here and interrogated us himself.
Yes.
And he was comforting Trixie is his
Yes.
daughter.
That's right.
Yes.
He was comforting Trixie when I went around and found that opening.
Same here.
But it could be that he's staging it.
Merilla, would you like to share what we found?
Huh?
Would you like to share what we found on the powder?
Yes. Yes, thank you. That is also very important. We've gathered a lot of things, but I think it is not the most crucial, but is certainly probably up there. So before, I don't remember who remarked about it, but they said something about powder on Kaya's face. Dusty.
I found that.
Yes, Nuri, you found it. I tried to inspect it myself, but on the face I couldn't, and Dusty had the chivalrous kindness to take it off for me so that we could both look at it together. And when he did, I was able to finally see that the powder is a very rare poison that comes from the south of Collinburg. It's instantaneous when inhaled. So she was dead when her jaw was ripped off and her heart taken out. So this is premeditated. You cannot get that poison just on a whim. It's extremely rare. And even if you found access to it, you couldn't simply buy it without saving up quite the sum of gold. So someone in a simple rage from an incident maybe 30 an hour before I don't think have done this. It must be somebody else, someone who has had a lot of held and pent up rage toward poor Kaya.
I will
Mars
say.
is gonna.
Go ahead.
Amaris is gonna roll her eyes a little bit and just be like, "Why am I not surprised? It's from the south."
Lots of things are in the south. Some are very ugly. You are right, Morris. And some are also very pretty.
I will say, while yes, it is. Poison is not something that can be easily gotten. We do need to take note that we don't know the initial purchase, or why they initially purchased the poison. It could be that they had this on hand and decided to use it, as opposed to specifically seeking it out.
That is a good point. But it's not something that could then be reacquired very easily.
Yes. In that case, it'd be something that they saw it was worth using.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anyways.
Well, that's an important point, though. If that was the murder weapon, then whoever did the deed would have at least some remnant of this powder, unless perhaps they washed it off. But it could be something to look for.
Tracings of it on the person. Well, yes. And she's like, I'm an idiot. Sort of expression on her face.
Should we talk to the Dorothy, was it, about people who may use poison as one of their means of weaponry in the guild?
I bet you she will point at the husband.
Well, yes, but there could be more than one.
Did she walk in during this conversation?
But she will choose to point at the husband.
She just now.
She just now walked in. She's like, sorry, it took a little bit longer. Just talking to some friends. And she kind of surveys the scene. And she looks at you guys and she's like, another point to you. You didn't move any of the evidence. Shows you.
Were we allowed to do that? I did not know.
No, she basically says that, part of her leaving was kind of a test. That if something's disappeared from the scene, it would kind of show that you guys were guilty. So she kind of was like, anyways, she's like,
Dorothy,
yes.
do you by chance know where Novak comes from?
Novak.
Inside! Merla's gonna be inciting the heck out of this person the whole time. Just so you know.
Location.
I believe he's from Deadstall originally, which is up north in the Akosha Kingdom, kind of on the eastern side. Roll insight if you want.
I'm rolling insight.
Okay.
Yes, he's kind of more of a desert cat, if you would say.
Desert cat. He's gonna look over at Dusty.
Desert.
Oh, he's a cat.
Actually, do I recognize that name of that place? Because I might.
Deadstall? Yeah,
Yeah.
so you recognize that as, like, it's a town on the far east, like, reaches of the Akosha Kingdom. At the far end of the desert, basically. Not a lot of people live there. I mean, it is a bigger city. So, like, when I say not a lot of people, it's smaller on the side of a city. You never really, like, traveled much in that direction just because the people there are kind of weird. Like, not the greatest hygiene, a little spooky and grim, you would say.
Bad hygiene. I did notice Dusty had. He smelled different than. I mean, there's other smells in the water. Is he from there?
Okay.
Muttering this to himself.
Okay. So your insight, only Megan rolled?
Yep, and she got an 11.
Okay.
It's an 11.
It seems like she'd be telling the truth. She's only been honest with you guys so far, so I mean that's what you believe.
Okay, Amaris nods and is like thinking up possibilities of who it could be, what like
why are you
sorry, go ahead.
No, are you can't be seriously thinking that it was Novak.
No one said anything about that. We're just curious about the husband of the woman who died. Sympathy.
I'm actually from the desert.
Yeah.
I come from the western side.
No? Well, that's good. He might, I don't know, he might enjoy someone from home, but from what I've heard, he's not a big fan of his hometown.
She seemed disappointed that I rebutted her comment.
No, actually. She kind of just seemed a little impartial, like, okay. And just continued on. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Of course.
Do you know anyone who would have any connections down south that maybe uses poisons frequently?
Inside.
Whether she says yes or no.
You gotta wait for her to talk before you do insight.
I'm just so ready.
I roll insight.
For like as she's talking.
Okay.
She says, well, insight.
Insight. Can you say the question one more time so I can flow off of it?
Sorry.
Yes. Do you know anyone who... I'll rephrase it. Anyone in this guild who is partial to poisons in their line of work or assassinations that might also have connections down south?
No one that I know that uses poisons. I know Cass, she's the lizard folk you met out there. She likes to eat her victims. Like goblins and such. Kind of a weird trick that she's got. I know that...
What was her name again?
Cass. Kass.
Oh.
Kass, so like Cass.
Like Cassidy, but without the itty.
Yeah. I know Firth and Acre, I believe they're from Avalon originally, which is down south, but neither of them do anything with poison. Firth, I mean, she's a cleric.
They don't have to do something specific with poison. Maybe it's specifically I'm looking for connections down south and people who would be more in the line of assassinations or catching people unawares.
I mean, the only one who would catch people unawares is probably Novak because he is rogue. More roguey guy. Firth and Acre, they are from down south. They're from Avalon originally. But actually, so in the Blazing Blades, it was me, Kaya, Novak, Firth, and Acre. We spent so much time adventuring together. We got to know each other very well. We're basically family at this point.
Okay. We do also have this medallion.
Insight!
Okay, right.
Insight! 19!
Wait, so Merilla got 17 for that whole thing about the.
It seems like she is telling the truth.
I guess I rolled a 13.
She
for the
doesn't know
initial
anything
roll.
about people from with poisons from the south.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like specific people in the guild that are there currently. Or are you saying just in general, like the poison people from the south? Because she knows stuff.
No, wait. So the role was just to see if she was answering Dane's question truthfully and if she was holding back.
To your knowledge, she seemed to be answering truthfully. You
No.
couldn't tell if she was holding anything back.
Cool. Then Merilla is going to directly ask her, do you, Dorothy, know anything about poisons?
I mean, they kind of go
From
a
the
little bit up.
south.
Myself, I mean, they kind of go a little over my head, to be honest, if we're being honest here. I don't deal too much with poison. I know that, poison, if you drink it, I guess you die or something. Sometimes they, can hurt you, I guess, in other ways. I was able on an adventure once to poison my blade and kill a monster that way. We received it from a traveling merchant who came up from the south. We were all there. It was pretty nice.
What was the poison that you put on your blade? I'm from the south.
Yes, this one was a nightlock poison. One that you can douse your blade in. The berries grow in the Versailles dynasty.
Versailles dynasty?
Yes, I was able to purchase the poison to poison my blade to defeat a very nasty griffin that was terrorizing a local farming village.
But very brave of you.
Yeah, it was a team effort. The Blazing Blades, we were all there and, kind of sucked when it all came crashing down at the end there, but...
Crashing down? I'm afraid I only know of the fantastic stories about the Blazing Blades and all the many amazing things you all did together.
Yeah, well, that was until Novak and Kaya decided to end it, and they wanted to start a family together. So, I mean, I'm happy for them. I really am. I'm happy that Trixie is here. It's just, the glory days of going out there and fighting monsters. It's amazing.
And you, after the Blazing Blades, you didn't adventure yourself?
No, I go out. I assist. There's a handful of us that aren't in our groups anymore. That we assist other groups on their adventures and on their quests. So I've been on a handful, but most of the time I stay here and help Kaya. As her second in command, I have to know.
Oh, that's right. I did forget. She mentioned that before when she was alive. Somebody else, please chime in. Save me.
So much motive everywhere. It's dripping with motive. Sorry.
Anyway, yes, when she was alive, she did mention that you were her closest ally and the only one she could trust with the guild because of your skills.
Well, she trusted a lot more people. She trusted everyone in the Blazing Blades. Well,
Would you mind going to get the waitress that brought us in a while back, the one who had last seen her?
she kind of calls out and she's like, "Hey, Dash, can you get Sarah?" And he's like, "Oh, okay." She leaves.
Can Amaris investigate like the bookshelf and the chair to see if there was a trap set up?
Yeah, roll investigation.
Also, I did roll to see if she truly felt as though she had a familial relationship with this Jawas cat person. I rolled a 19 on that.
A 19. She definitely did feel like they were family. A 2 on your investigation.
I got it too.
There's a chair and there are books.
Genius. Genius.
Genius.
Genius decorating here, guys.
Beautiful. The maid comes in and she's like, yes, she's kind of averting her eyes from the corpse, you know, 'cause she doesn't really want to see it.
We can talk over here, so you don't have to look at it.
Thank you. And she comes over.
So, question. You keep an eye on the ins and goings between this room, correct?
Well, I'm more of a stewardess for the guild, and I assist Kaya. Well, assisted Kaya. She will call me in sometimes and ask me to fetch people for her or to send them her way, and she needs a glass of water. I come and I bring one.
Well, so would you keep a good eye, I guess, on the front side of if anyone comes in or out of the back rooms at all, or?
Well, I usually she's kind of just was kind of nervous and just
I don't think it was you, sweetheart. I don't think it was you.
Okay, sorry, it's just a bit nerve-wracking. I've never really witnessed something so graphic. Sometimes I would stay here in the room with her, and other times she would send me and dismiss me so I could go and do other duties around the guild. And I mean, before this, I was in the room with her, and she sent me to go fetch you and said that I could go and help clean up from the party. And that's what I was doing.
Okay. The reason I was asking is because I want to know, did you see anyone leave from the other side of the... So you saw where we had entered. Did anyone leave the other side of the building? That's what I was trying to see, if you would maybe recognize that.
I'm trying to think. I wasn't paying attention much, but I think she's trying to remember. I think I might have saw someone coming past towards the office from the other way.
Okay.
Would you be able hooded figure? I wouldn't be able to identify who it is. There was a cloak. They seemed fairly tall.
Do you remember anything else about them? So fairly tall?
Tall, small feet.
Small feet. Thank you very much. You're very helpful. If you remember anything, let us
know. Thank you. And she leaves.
Well, that was useless.
No.
That's a tall and small feet man that we might be looking for. I say man, I don't know.
And Dorothy's like, okay, let's think of tall, small feet.
And Merilla look at her feet.
She
slyly.
Feet seem medium sized. They're not particularly large, but not particularly small.
Okay. Tiptoes then.
Okay. Okay. You guys are free to like go and talk to people. If
Oh, I
you'd
thought
like.
we were still stuck in this room.
I mean, no, she's kind of like at this point giving you guys free. She trusts you enough to like, I don't know, not break and steal stuff. So, because she knows that if you guys trip up a little bit, it's your fault.
Okay. If that is the case,
I'm
I
going
will be
to-
going to the hall. I'm going to go see if there's anything outside this room.
Okay. You go into that room. You actually see Shade and Meg. They're the ones that are like kind of guarding the door, as they've been tasked to do, to just kind of sit
Oh.
there.
Hello, friends. Hey, how's it going?
Oh. Shade's kind of like, just kind of like sulking in her corner, like, man, Kai was a good person. And Meg's like, yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah.
It's live.
Like,
I'm going to go over to the door and just like take a look at Novak to notice like size of feet, how tall he is.
he looks very tall. Tabaxi are like tall, thin, people. They generally have like, paws for their like hands and feet and stuff. For the most part. They can definitely range from like large to small feet. It does seem like he does have more small and nimble feet. You also notice that Trixie is the same way. She's fairly tall, small feet. You notice that, I mean, the halflings, they're short, but they also have very small feet. The maid is actually she's kind of short with small feet. But the dragonborns, they're tall with large feet. Same thing with Meg and Shade over here.
All right. Martha's gonna come back over here to Nuri and just talk to her. It's like quietly and just be like, my bets are still on the husband.
I agree.
I'm just looking around with my character real quick.
Yeah, you're good. What are you looking for?
Oh no, I was going around to remind myself the layout and such because
Yeah, of course.
I've been in that room for however long.
Yeah, that's true. Dorothy kind of leaves and she goes to talk to Novak. And
Can I try and listen in without being seen?
they were gonna come into the main room, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So he comes in pretty much, and the halflings are there too. And the girl who you now know as Firth, as Dorothy described her, she kind of goes up and she's just looking at this, and she's kind of like kind of almost looking like sick, basically. And she kind of pulls herself away and kind of turns to her brother and pretty much just kind of like puts her hand on his shoulder. It seems almost like they're comforting each other, you know, in like their own way as siblings. Dorothy,
Novak and wait, who are the two that are comforting each other? Sorry.
Firth and Acre. Firth and Acre. That's their name.
Oh, and Acre was the fourth Blazing Blade.
Yeah, so all four of these guys are Blazing Blades.
Okay, yeah.
And Kaya was the fifth member. Or I guess technically Kaya, Novak, they're all members of the Blazing Blades.
Okay.
Firth is this halfling. Acre is the other halfling, and they are both siblings. Novak is married to Kaya, and then Kaya and Dorothy have been best friends since before they were Blazing Blades. So yeah. So they all come in. And Dorothy gives a report of everything that they found, that you guys have told her, basically. And Novak's kind of nodding, and he's like, could someone have come in during that time that the maid was here? Or since Sarah left? He's like trying to like rack his brain of like, who was out in the hall? Or like, who was out in the party, kind of a thing. And he's just kind of like thinking to himself a little bit. Yeah, he turns to you. What else have you found? What thoughts, theories?
We did ask the maid about like if she saw anyone coming in or out either way of the office. She did say a fairly tall person with small feet, but they were cloaked, so she wasn't able to see who exactly. Can I do a little can I do a check to see if he's hiding anything?
What do you mean hiding anything? Because he's not like
he's being like, who would have done such a thing? Is he doing this to like is he faking it? Is he trying to hide something?
I mean, I guess you could roll an insight check. It's more just like random thoughts that he has, so there's not really much like to insight check on. But you could probably roll an insight check.
It's a 10.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's hiding anything to you. You don't think anything.
I'm gonna ask. Do you know of anyone who perhaps might commit some sort of a? I don't know. It's just very specific. I hate to point to the gruesome nature of, but it seems that she's missing her jaw as well as her heart. Now, if someone was just trying to kill her, would it not stand to reason that they could have just killed her and left her body? I feel like it's significant that those two pieces of her body are missing. Not just missing, but they're not anywhere in this room.
Well, so the jaw is in her lap. The heart is missing. Yeah, the jaw was cut off and it's sitting in her lap, and the heart is the one that's missing.
Specifically the heart, then.
Yeah, and he kind of pipes up and he says, well, I mean, I would know why the jaw is missing, because if you try to cast Speak with the Dead, they need a jaw in order to speak. Otherwise, we would have brought a cleric in here. Well, Firth could be able to cast Speak with the Dead on her to be able to learn what happened, but you can't do that unless they have a working jaw. So it's obviously someone.
So she didn't make any promises to any of you, and she's going to look at each one of the Blazing Blades members pointedly.
Promises of what? Love? Is what Novak says. I mean,
anything?
I promised to be with her till death do we part. And even then, I'd go further.
And then you shall part.
And, he says that, and he's kind of like... And he kind of goes silent for a second, and just like kind of reflecting, and
pointedly looking at Dorothy in this silence. Sorry.
And Dorothy's just kind of like, hold on, I have to pull up my notes real quick. Dorothy just kind of is like, yeah, there you go. Novak. Sorry, I just see that you guys are like throwing in the chat like, he cheated on her. Motive. No. Um, the halfling, so Firth actually comes up and she places her hand on Novak's paw and she's like, well, the Valkyries did leave earlier. Maybe they have some sort of insight into what could have happened, and he's like, and Novak's like, maybe I don't even know at this point. And Firth is like, well, Acre and I can go find the Valkyries, and we'll go
Excuse
discuss with
me. It's Dorothy talking, right?
them. No, this is Firth,
First? Oh, okay.
the halfling.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You. She died after the Valkyries were here. I don't see the point. The logic. We know for sure through witnesses that when the Valkyries left, she was alive, and a period after the Valkyries left, she was alive, and it's only until recently, right before we entered the room, most likely.
I don't know. I'm just trying to pull on any thread that we may have here. And I mean, this party was for the Valkyries. They left early. Maybe they hired someone. I don't know. I'm
Would
just
the
trying.
Valkyries have a motive?
I don't know.
They couldn't. Everyone loves them. They have the full support of who was the guild warden. I like twirls her thumbs like awkward.
Then, I mean, I guess.
They're heroes under her jurisdiction.
I'm sorry, I did not hear that.
Oh, Merilla said that they were heroes under her jurisdiction.
Oh, okay. And she's like,
Like they couldn't
mean,
be what they are without her.
I guess. I guess we can rule them out then. But who else could be here and have done this?
Hated her.
I don't know. She was beloved by all. Novak kind of just sighs and he's like, I'm going to write a letter to send to the capital to get someone over here for a true resurrection. I don't care how much it costs. We're going to bring her back. Trixie needs her.
It's not him, guys!
Yes?
How tall do the halflings look?
I mean, they're pretty short.
How tall is just like one of them? Is that like 3 feet, 4 feet?
I think a normal halfling, like, what, are they like 4 feet tall?
They're about my height, which is about 4 feet tall.
Yeah, so about like
Dang,
4
you're
feet.
short. Wait, hold on.
So
Yeah, I'm
If
short.
we stood on top of each
Like,
other,
I
that'd
think
be a
they're-
rather tall person with small feet.
like they're a little shorter than 4 feet, but around that height.
Still. I'm just saying.
The little halflings traipsing around in a little like trench coat.
Hey, they do it
That
in
would
movies
be-
all the time.
That would be an extremely tall person, because that would put them around 8 feet.
They did say it was a tall person with small feet.
Motive?
But that would be an
They're
average,
shorter than
wasn't
4 feet.
average tall.
Yes, Merilla?
Can I roll insight to see Dorothy's reaction when Novak insists that they bring her back through the true resurrection?
Yeah, like,
Insight.
I mean, insight doesn't mean like you instantly know like what they're thinking. This is just like
Well, yeah.
your thoughts and perceptions. But like when he said bring her back, she was kind of like nodding her head like yeah, like let's bring her back. She was nodding. She's
Um,
like, for Trixie. Of course.
I'm going to be talking to these guys out here because during all of this going on, and just be like, hey, I remember you guys were on the other side of the bar area than us. Did you see any suspicious characters or anything happen?
I mean, not really. Nothing that I saw. We were just having. Sorry, this is Shade talking. We were just having a bit of a drink. Um, Meeting with each other, socializing. I know Gibby was, I don't know, fond on the halfling girl.
Gippy was Gippy.
Gibby was Gibby, as he is with any woman that's of a short height. And of a tall height, you know, that's Gibby. Well, we were just kind of chatting ourselves, you know, being friends. No one left my line of sight, in our group at least.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I'm just trying to get some more ideas, get some more things.
Of course, of course. Novak leaves to go write a letter.
Can I just follow him?
Yeah, sure.
Very obviously, I'm just following him. I have my book out and a quill, and I seem like I'm taking notes and following.
Yeah, totally. And he goes and he sits down next to Trixie, and as he's writing this letter.
The rest of you, I have a question.
Dorothy's like, shoot.
Because, like, the two halflings are still in here, right?
Yeah.
The rest of the blazing blades.
Yeah.
Where is the dagger?
The dagger is on the table.
She's going to point at it, and she's going to ask, does this look familiar to you?
Who are you pointing at?
She's pointing at the dagger on the desk.
Oh, but you're just saying it to
I
anyone?
had previously handed it to her already.
Okay. I mean, Dorothy, the gnomes are kind of looking at it like it does, not gnomes, sorry, halflings are looking at it. They're like, it does look familiar. Dorothy's like, I think that's might be one of Novak's blades, but I mean, he couldn't have. No, Novak was with me. We were talking down by the stage. There's no way he could have done this. And she goes over and she looks at the handle and she sees the ND and she's like, Novak Strax, that's his name. He carves his initials on all of his daggers. And Firth is like, but there's no way he could have done this, could he? I mean, I know he would.
Well,
he and Kaya were fighting, but I don't know over what. But there's no possible way that he could have done this. He loves her too much.
we did see him leave the party after fighting with her, and that's when we first arrived.
Did anyone notice any blood on him? I have a passive perception of 15. Did I notice any blood on him?
No.
What are the halflings doing?
They were like they were talking about this conversation. Firth was like, of course, before this, they were like comforting each other. And then Firth was like, no way, it couldn't have been Novak.
Firth said that. Sorry, I thought Dorothy said that.
No, so Dorothy said it first, and then Firth jumped in and also said that.
Oh, so it was Firth and Novax that were together by the stage.
No, it was Dorothy and Novax.
Okay.
Yeah, Dorothy and Novax were by the stage, and Dorothy was like, we were by the stage, there's no way it could have been him. Like, someone must have taken his dagger, kind of a thing. And Firth said, yeah, there's no way it could be him. He loves Kaya way too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Acre just seems kind of like the quiet type. So he's just kind of like standing next to his sister, chilling. And Firth is like, she kind of looks over at the corpse and she's like, I gotta get out of this room. And so Firth leaves and Acre diligently follows her.
Just saying, there's no alibi for either of them. Perfect height to steal a knife. Just saying.
Do you want to call? Oh wait, you're not there to comment on it.
All right.
Do they walk out into the main room where I am?
Yeah, they walked out here. You see them.
I'm gonna walk up to them to ask them a question.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, if someone else wanted to do something, they can do something before me.
I mean, I would be talking to Novak,
Okay.
but that could be
Switch
before or
places?
after your question.
Yeah, here, we'll do the halflings first and then Novak. Okay.
I just have my quill and my book, and I'm like making notes in it, very detective-like.
As you're drawing pictures of bunnies in it.
Aren't you quite the detective? Is what she says.
The little hair I have hanging out of my bun, like, oh, yes. Not my first time on a murder case. I've caught several murderers, you know. I'm just joking. This is my first one. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Where were you on the night of whatever this is? At
When Kaya was
7
murdered,
o'clock. Yes. Where were you?
I
Did you
was
see
with
anyone?
Gippy.
And where were you with Gippy? Like, were you guys by a doorway? Did you see anyone come out?
We were by the stage. He was singing and playing and, well, trying to woo me in his way. Not that he ever will. That guy has about as much charisma as a fish.
Wait.
Sing it, girl!
I'm confused. So, to DM, there's two halflings that were siblings, right?
Yeah, so that's Firth and Acre, and they're standing right next to each other. So you're over
And
here.
Firth said she was with the one that was trying to on the stage.
Yeah, she was with Gippy the gnome.
Oh, I'm like, and where were you, Garth? Did you happen to see anyone suspicious?
Fur? I mean, she
Or
said she was
whatever.
with Gippy.
No, you.
Acre?
Yes, Acre, whatever his name is.
He's just like really quiet and kind of like twiddling with his thumbs. And Firth is like, Acre doesn't really talk much. He's a shy fellow, but he was with me. He was right behind me. He never leaves my side.
Insight tag.
Roll insight.
Do it on here, please.
The half-elves standing on top of each other and stealing the dagger key is getting more and more interesting.
Well, that's 12.
I mean, to what you believe, she seems to be telling the truth.
And can I do like a quick investigation or perception to see if there's like any white powder or blood splatter on the brother?
I mean, you would have to get up close and personal to do an investigation on him.
That's Nuri's specialty.
And he's
Give it
not
up close and
about
personal? Yep.
and he's not about like people getting up close and personal with him. So as soon as you try to like get close to him, he like kind of backs up and Firth is like,
I wouldn't have done no, I didn't do
he doesn't
that.
like people getting close to him. So
I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have like shaken my hand, like reached out to shake her hand first.
and she just kind of keeps her hands close and she's like, What's this for? Why?
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Oh, well, I mean, you didn't
Not a
precedent
polite
it
person.
with that. You didn't
Sorry.
precedent it with that. You're just like in the middle of a conversation and then you're like, shake my hand. Like,
Yeah, at the end of a conversation, you just...
I mean, I didn't realize we were at the end of the conversation. I mean, I thought we were still conversing. I don't know.
Well, it seemed like... I'm sorry.
Uh,
Like I said, this is my first murder investigation. I'm a
she's
little
like,
all over the place.
anyways, she's like, all right, well, bid you adieu. And she kind of grabs her brother's hand and they end up walking away.
Okay, I'm gonna call my familiar and have my familiar follow.
Okay.
Kind of just like up in the rafters.
Alrighty. You can do that. Have your familiar roll stealth. And while you're doing that, we're gonna go to Douse talking to Novak as he is writing a letter sitting next to Trixie, who seems to kind of be like her arms are wrapped around her legs.
Novak, how are you doing today? That's a horrible question. You're not doing wonderful at all. My bad.
He looks at you with like this utter look of like, why the heck are you asking me that?
I'm sorry. I was trying to be polite here, but do you have a moment I can ask you a few questions?
Would you like me away from people or?
Maybe a little. It's nothing too.
He's like, he just gets up and you guys come over here.
Okay. I just don't really know how pertinent this would be, but when I had first noticed you, your wife had pointed you out, and you seemed to be looking for something. Was something missing on your body, perhaps, or?
It's like, yes.
Well, it happened to have been one of your knives.
Well, one of those did go missing, but I wasn't looking for that, but something else, but yes.
Okay. Because we may have found your knife, and it was in the room with your wife.
Did she take it or something? I mean,
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you know when that had gone missing?
I mean, I didn't really, honestly, I have so many knives, I didn't really notice it until later on. Like I was telling you, when I was looking for stuff, I wasn't looking for my knife. I have so many.
Mm-hmm. Do you know when someone might have taken it? Is there a time someone could have taken it from you? I don't know how aware of your own person you are. If you had bumped into someone, or...
I don't know. They could have also gotten it from my knife box. It's in the weapons room. I have a box of knives. I have a knife collection. I very much like my knives.
Would you mind showing me?
My knife? No.
Your box.
Of knives? No. Yes, it's my collection. And I don't particularly like showing it off to strangers.
I understand, but I'm trying to find out, was this taken from your box or not?
I mean, if it has my initials, it's my knife.
It does.
And it was just chilling. She probably just took it. She needed a letter opener. I don't know.
Okay, I apologize. My assumption is that maybe someone stole it from your person and used it.
Wait.
That was not her.
Wait, used it how?
Well, you saw this way of the corpse. It is missing her jaw, and she's missing her heart.
He barges past you and runs
Thank
and
you.
puts it into the room. You guys see
Hey,
him?
looks like he finally figured it out.
He like bursts into the room,
Oh, hey.
and Dorothy.
Did he not see his own wife?
And he bursts into the rooms. Well, I mean, like he noted he just didn't see the knife. He barges into the room, and Dorothy's kind of like, oh, like taken aback, like his like kind of like cloak kind of billows with like the gust of entering the room, and like you just see knives littering the inside of his like cloak. And he's like, where is it?
It's right here. She points at it on the desk.
And he goes over and he just gingerly, like, scoops it up in his hands as he looks at this, and you see his hands trembling. And then he just immediately like drops it as if it like burns him to touch it, and he kind of like takes a couple steps back, his hands kind of, one hand kind of wrapped around his chest, and whoever did this, I am going to slaughter them. And
I assumed
It's that on Dorothy. No, I'm kidding.
he like his hand, he pulls out his like his hands, and just like his nails just like as they like come out, and he's
So Novak, you're justly angry. When did your knife go missing?
I don't know.
When did you notice it's missing?
When this gentleman told me.
I mean,
It's not like I notice every single knife that goes missing all the time.
On your person right now.
I have all my knives on my person. He like opens up his coat and there's just knives.
So then it wasn't taken from you.
It was probably taken from your box, correct?
He has a box.
He has a box.
A box of knives. It's my knife collection.
I suppose you have to have refills, but
I mean,
This is
I'm
why
a
I was
rogue.
asking.
I throw my knife a lot, and it gets lodged into monsters. Okay, like
who knows about your box?
everyone in the Blazing Blades, they know my knife box is in the like armory. I mean, anyone who goes into the armory probably knows. I mean, it has Novak's knife collection inscribed on it with "Do not touch."
Is this armory a public place?
The armory is only for those that are guild members. We keep it under lock and key because it holds lots of weapons.
But any guild member can go in there.
Any guild member, yes, but
We're
most people keep their
narrowing it
stuff under a
down.
lock and key.
Do you?
Well,
I do. It's in a chest with a key. And I have
Who
the
has
key.
the key?
Well, I have
Only
the key,
you?
and Kaya has a key. She keeps it in her office here. And then
Could
he's
you
like,
show us?
he kind of like he jolts, and he like goes and he pulls out one of the little like drawers, and he sees and he's like, the key is there. He's like, what? And he like goes rifling through his pockets, and he lifts up his key, and his key is there. He's like,
well, now we have the mystery of the key and the box.
Do all of your keys have runes inscribed on them?
runes?
Knives.
Runes, magical runes.
On my keys?
Oh, apologies, knife. Do all your knives have these runes
What
inscribed on them?
runes?
So Dusty's going to walk over towards the knife, and he's going to point at the middle of the blade and show him the runes etched into the side. He says, I casted a detect magic spell and was able to see that this knife has runes on it. There's some kind of illusory magic.
I don't put runes on my knife. Someone must have put it there. Plus, I don't even know what these runes even say. He's like, this doesn't seem to be any language I know. And he kind of passes it off to Dorothy, and she's like, this doesn't... It could be underdark, undercommon, some guttural language.
Abyssal.
Abyssal, maybe?
If it's primordial, you can read it.
It is not primordial.
Amaris is going to ask
Wait.
Novak.
You can also
Did
read
you
celestial.
did you notice any strange behaviors with Kaya?
No, she was fine, as per usual. Upset that, Trixie was, well, being Trixie. she's a guild warden. She's got the stresses of a guild warden life. I've no clue.
So then that means there's no clear reason why she would.
Let's think. What clues do we have? Some sort of poison on the south, you guys were saying.
Yep.
My knife.
The poison, the knife, the amulet.
I don't think we've mentioned that yet.
What amulet?
Nope. There's an amulet
You
over
guys-
here.
Yeah, the amulet that was on the ground. That one?
Yeah,
Kinda points
that
towards
amulet.
it. It hasn't been moved, right? Yeah, he points towards it.
No,
That one?
Nuri
Well-
has picked it up.
Oh, Nuri has figured it out. Okay.
No, I examined it and then put it back.
Okay, so it's still on the floor there.
Yep.
Also, Houdini.
I looked at it and knew it was what was it? It's basically a bad omen.
Him. Houdini just sees like them just kind of like leaning against a wall together, the siblings. They seem to like Firth kind of like looks at Houdini, who is not hiding very discreetly. Yes, and she just kind of is like, "Why are you here? Please leave. There's no point for you to be here." And
Pruning stuff in it.
he just hoots, and they like are like, "Alrighty." So they leave to a different room. They go back over here. Coming back to the thing, he brings it up. You guys show him the thing. Dorothy looks at it and she's like, I don't know this. Maybe Firth knows. She's a cleric. She'll know more religious stuff. So they call Firth and Acre comes in because, he's always with her. And she grabs that and she goes, "That's weird. This is, not very many people follow this, but this is of, the Creed of Calarium. It's a symbol of the goddess Calarium. It's
Does Merilla know what the heck that is?
so you guys would have heard of Calarium. She is the goddess. I have it right here. Secrets, guile, lies, half-truths, flattery, intrigue, manipulation, and stealth. So most people who follow her call themselves the Creed of Calarium. This is Firth explaining this to you. And pretty much it's like a cult almost, banned religion. People don't really worship her, legally. So and she's kind of doing this, she's like, legally. I mean, yeah. She's like, maybe the priest, we could call the priest here. He might know more about Calarium, know anyone who worships her. The local
Fair
priest.
enough.
Have you seen an amulet similar to this before? In your travels as a blazing blade?
I mean, I think I've seen it once before in a cave that we were investigating. Long time ago. I don't really remember much from the quest, but that's about it. I only know of this from the books that I've studied, temples I've visited. And Firth's like, I'm gonna go send for a priest. So she leaves.
I feel like going out on a limb here. Does what's his face go? Does the brother Acre leave with her?
Yes. Yep.
And Novak's still here?
Yes, Novak is still here. So Firth and Acre leave. You actually notice that they leave well, you don't notice this, but is Houdini still following them? They leave the guild hall. And what happens
They
is
take the amulet with them?
no, you guys still have the amulet.
Okay.
They're just going to go get a priest. So as they leave with Houdini following them, and as you guys are slowly trying to piece together this puzzle, this mystery, with several different suspects on your mind.
No, just one.
Just one. Who?
Well, see, that's like my thing. Do I want to?
That's okay.
You can save it for next week.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Well, it depends. Sorry, you do your.
Okay, I'll just finish this. And as you guys are pondering upon this deep, deep mystery, that is where we are going to end it for tonight's session.
Woo!
Yay!
Merilla wants to ask so bad how long Dorothy has loved Novak. I freaking want to know.
How long? Listen, she's got motive.
I was this close so many
You
times,
realize how
just
much
straight
motive
up
she has?
asking her. But I'm
Out
like,
of
nobody else is
everyone.
in the room. If she attacks us, we're not going to have like a witness to be on our side. And then every time all of them are in the room,
Out of
have to do
everyone.
something else. And I'm like, ah.
She's the only one we know actually. She's the only one we actually know has motives. Like, she's the only one who has expressed any distaste towards this woman at all. And only in passing, which is the best kind. So,
You guys
I
are
want to
good
go
one
back
person.
and just hammer it. But then we're probably
One
going to have a
person,
fight. And then that's
but-
going to take 500 more
No,
minutes.
you're forgetting someone.
yes. Who?
Trixie. She's been upset.
She's been upset.
She has been, and she's tall and has small feet.
She is tall and has small feet, but she hasn't
My
shown
guess-
any signs of like any fight
We
with
haven't-
any of her parents. Like she hasn't shown any of that.
She's shown
Yeah, she has.
teenager angst.
She was upset with her mother earlier.
But it wouldn't be to kill her with a super rare poison and then have
Oh,
the
yeah, no.
knowledge and experience to tear off the jaw. And why take out the heart?
Teenager angst. That's why she has motive as well.
Okay.
Wait,
I also think
what if Kaya killed herself? Wait, what if
That was my
She would
thoughts.
have
That was
to
my
tear
thoughts,
off
which is
her
why I
jaw.
asked. I asked Novak if he had noticed anything strange going on with Kaya, because that was my thoughts. What if she killed herself?
I don't know how she
Oh.
did the
Then why
jaw
would Kaya
thing.
try to purposefully frame us?
now, should we save all of this speculating
Are we
for
friends?
after the video?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so all of you guys who are watching this right now, please comment below your thoughts and your theories. And I will read them before they read them. Okay, no, just kidding. No, you guys are also free to read all the comments. So yeah, post your theories. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are and who you think the murderer may be, if there was.
Go help us. We just literally have no idea. We're just spitballing here. We're trying to
No
find
way,
motives
it's
where there
definitely
are none.
Dorothy.
No,
I have
Not it's the
ideas.
halflings.
no, the halfling stuff. I do like that theory. That one's pretty good. Listen,
right.
halfling. It's as simple as that.
All right. Well, we love you guys. Thanks for watching and joining in. You guys have a wonderful evening and a great time. Love you guys. And
Bye.